Welcome everyone. Sorry, we're a little few minutes later than usual, but it was to solve a problem, so hopefully there won't be any other problems. So, for those of you who are wondering what the hell just happened because you don't know why this channel just appeared in your screen, welcome to Drakenmemoria. What is Drakenmemoria? It is Dungeons and Dragons. So if this is not your thing, well, too late. Nobody warned us. So this is what's going to be happening for tonight. Maybe next time it's going to be different, but I wouldn't count on it. For everyone else, well, welcome back. Whether you are back from a previous session, whether you're here because a friend of yours told you, hey, these guys, they're below average, but they're not the worst, so check it out. That also works. If you just saw that, oh, well, just something about Dungeons and Dragons. Cool. Let's check it out. Whomever you are, if you're here because you know why you're here, welcome. It is a pleasure to have you with us. As you can see, we have one player missing right now. Don't worry, he's not supposed to be missing for the entire session. He is just running a little bit late coming back from work. So he should be here, according to what he said, something like 15 minutes. So don't worry, we will have our Warforged friend with us soon enough. And just so that you don't miss him too much, there you go.
Oh,
Like,
well. Wow,
So-
we just activate him and he becomes live. That's good timing. I had just used your new photo to replace you. You just came out of your sentry rest. So
how does it feel that you could be replaced by a drawing?
well, that's why he came. He was upset. Drawing. No, what the? All right, so what's been happening for the past few episodes? Well, our party is doing his best to survive. But to be more precise, they have been preparing for this quest, picking mushrooms, which has been used several times to mock them, but they have managed to swallow their pride temporarily and decide to go mushroom and moss gathering. Inside of this cave, where there have been deaths involved by a creature which seems to be flailing around and prematurely rotting people to death. But no one knows exactly what this creature is. So they've been doing a little bit of research, first in Otanel, one of the largest city on the Mistal Island chain. But they didn't find much information, as this is not the closest place to this cave. So they went on their merry way, and they found themselves in a very small village at the foot of the mountains, where the entrance to the cave was. There, two party members decided to have a small party, drink, be merry, share story. One of them decided to go information gathering, which proved slightly useful. They managed to find themselves a guide to go to the cave, which would make it much easier to find the entrance, and possibly someone to show them where exactly all of this is taking place. So they told this guide to meet them back in the morning. They went back all together, finishing the evening, drinking a bit, Remy becoming extremely drunk and doing an odd thing to audience while he was putting Remy to bed. He plucked a feather from his body and gave it to audience, who just said thank you and went back to his room, leaving Remy with his lantern open on his desk and dreaming about what this could possibly mean for him, while audience just went to his room dreaming. Probably about one of the women that he met in the garden. Tykar...
Just pick one.
Well, in his dream, he probably doesn't have to choose. You know, they're all standing right in front of him. His favorite one at the front, but you know, all of the other ones just behind.
I don't think we have to go into this.
Let's just put it's my own Christmas photo shoot and move on, okay?
Yeah, you know, everyone's entitled to dream. Especially since there have been quite a variety of them so far. It's not a very extensive list, but you know, it's starting to get there.
Almost a calendar's worth.
Yeah. And I'm beginning to think that there's gonna be more as the story keeps unfolding. During that night, Tykar had a particular dream of his own, where he realized that his magical object had in fact awakened and took a little moment to talk with him. Well, talk is a bit much for what happened, but he did his best to express himself. And so Tykar started to learn a little bit more about the abilities of his object, which had just awakened. Enthralled by this, he finished his night of rest and woke up in the morning with probably many ideas to take revenge on some and conquer others which haven't been met yet. And so, this is where we are right now. And we're gonna start today's episode with Fisher. Can you do a wisdom saving throw for me?
Oh, let's go. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to roll a below a 5, as is normal on these.
Did you just Nostradamus yourself?
So I rolled a 5 with a modifier that's a 4.
You said you'd roll below a 5, so technically you were wrong.
Half wrong. The result was below a 5, so...
All right. Well then, you come out of your sentry rest, feeling like there's maybe 5 or 6 minutes missing in your memory. But, you know, this isn't the first time that it happens before. It happened maybe three times so far. But they're just a few minutes, so...
It's going to start obsessing over it if this keeps happening. What does it mean?
Alright. So, you come out of your sentry rest. You're alone in your room. Well, mostly.
Wasn't I in like a shared... like...
You're the one who took the
hostel
shared one. Yeah. Well, in that case, you wake up in the middle of this large room with others sleeping, but you're alone with your thoughts for now. It's not gonna last, you know this, but you're alone with your thoughts for a few moments.
Um, I'm just gonna check my stuff, make sure everything's there, and then head downstairs.
Make an investigation roll.
Fucking hell. That's a nat 20 for 25. Couldn't have
Everything,
rolled that one earlier.
everything's there. You even found a gold. And
An extra gold?
yeah,
Oh, let's go.
it was completely at the bottom of your backpack. You know, it's
That tiny bit of missing time actually just flew back to Otnell and took it back from that kid. All right, I'm gonna go downstairs and just chill at a table down there.
all right. Well, since this is a sentry rest for you, you are probably among the very first ones to go down, and sun has barely started to rise. And all right, all right. Not a lot of people, but your guide companion, Draren, is already awake, and he's already taking part in a modest but hearty meal.
All right. Yeah, I guess we'll sit down with him.
All right.
You're an early riser.
Well, when you spend as much time as I do in nature, you tend to wake up before the predators arrives.
Fair enough, I guess. Fair warning, it might be a bit till the entire rest of our party's ready.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, usually people aren't awake when I'm awake. It's sort of a bit my job to be awake before them. And over time, I've seen, you know, several different types of late riser. And some very odd early risers also.
Yeah, I get that.
I think probably
If there's anybody that understands me.
I think probably the oddest one I have ever met was a kobold who started to sleep eat a rock in his sleep. He just got up,
Yeah.
took a stone, started to munch on it, then fell back asleep while sucking on it. When he woke up, he asked me why someone had placed a stone in his mouth.
Yeah, they don't seem to be the brightest of species.
Well, to be fair, most of them usually don't live all that long. They die before they have a chance to learn something.
I guess that's fair. Like a bunch of little toddlers running around.
Yeah, mostly. So those of them who actually get to live longer, some of them can actually become quite intelligent. But, you know, let's just say that as a species, they don't place much value on individual life. Usually the smartest ones are those who take up the adventurer's life. They eventually grow to gather a lot of knowledge.
I guess eventually grow to is the key phrase there, because I met one back in Otnell that had taken up this life, and he didn't seem very smart.
Well, how long has he been adventuring?
Fair idea. Or fair question. I have no idea.
Because,
I'm assuming not very long. Because he didn't seem like he could do much.
well, part of being smart isn't necessarily the ability to add numbers proficiently. It can also be finding the best party that'll complete you, give you the ability to survive longer. That is also a type of intelligence.
I guess so.
And if there's one thing that all kobolds know, is that there is safety in numbers. It's
Yeah, that
basically
makes
their
sense.
philosophy of life.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen a kobold swarm attacking a giant?
No, I have not.
The giant can easily kill a few hundreds of them. But they just swarm the poor thing. And eventually, they wear him down. Sure, the death ratio was one giant for 250 kobold. But their number is going to be replenished in 1 or 2 years. Less sometime. So,
I guess I really didn't know a lot about kobolds.
yeah, they have a very interesting life. Short one for most of them, but interesting. Alright, well, let's wait for your friend. Unless there's something you want to talk about.
Crazy weather we've been having, huh?
Such a windy year. It's crazy. Well, at least today it seems to be normal, but I mean, with winds like this, I've been further down south. You have tornadoes and hurricanes with winds like this. Fortunately, we're too far north. There's not much of those, but wow.
Right. We don't have to role play small talk.
No,
For 2
that's
hours
all right.
while we wait for everybody else to wake up.
That's no problem. Alright, so, Taikar, audience, and Remy. You all wake up. Remy with a bit of a headache. Audience without any headache. And Taikar, most likely with a sense of, yeah, I got a new friend. And he's gonna help me. Or try
I
anyway.
mean, I'm clearly the chosen one if destiny has given me my very own sidekick. I mean, what else is there to say? I'm clearly the main character now. Move over, audience.
Well, if you're going like with this, you do remember audience saying at least once that he's gathering gem for his friend.
Okay, people are allowed to have sugar daddies. I'm not here to judge.
Wait, if
Actually,
I'm
it's a
gathering the
sugar daddy.
gems, I would be the sugar daddy, yeah.
All right, sugar Drakey. All right. Well, I'm gonna walk down, open the door using my friend's ability of opening an unlocked door. I'm not touching doors anymore. You don't. I'm not touching doors anymore.
So long as you have
If I
your
can-
mirror in your hands or that your friend is out, you can use the thaumaturgy cantrip as much as you want.
Oh, he's on my shoulder, and I'm just walking up to doors, just going, blasting them open.
Make way! Taikar is in the room.
Yuck. Me touch a doorknob? That's cringe. I'm absolutely not. So yeah, just
Meanwhile,
walk up.
Germs, dude. You know, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
When you think about it, the two best cantrip to have right now in our world is either Mage Hand or Thaumaturgy.
Like that fireball would be pretty sick.
Well,
That's not a cantrip, I don't think. Last time I
Right.
checked.
It's a cantrip if you bully the DM enough.
Not a cantrip yet.
oh no,
It's a bomb threat away from being a cantrip.
no. But I can give you a cantrip version of fireball. It's called produce flame.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I was gonna say firebolt. It's literally just there is one.
True.
Yeah, it's probably closer because produce flame you can keep it, but it's a ball of flame. So that's why I said, well, it's sort of a small version of it, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm just thaumaturgying all the doors in my way till I get to the main lobby of the inn.
All right.
Good morning, peasants.
So you get Tarkar arriving on the first floor. Hello, peasants. And you hear in the background people just go, "What?" But in whispers. Well, it's your friend that's using thaumaturgy. He's giving you an
nice.
entrance.
Oh, sick. I'll walk up to Fisher like, guess what, man?
Fisher, you see Tykar with a mini version of himself sitting on his shoulder.
Like straight up like mini me,
Well,
just him on his shoulder.
there are
Mini me other deformities.
there are slight differences, but differences that you could easily associate with the fact that everything's smaller. So it's like losing pixels when you try to lower the resolution of an image. But other than that, it's him.
Well, if he was smaller, wouldn't he be more high res than I am?
Up to a point. Believe me.
It's a little 8-bit Tycoon.
I've fiddled with this for the overlay of this channel for long enough to know that after a certain point, you lose resolution.
Yeah, it's my sprite.
Does it look like an illusion, or does it look like a physical
touch it.
being?
It's like, try to touch it, see what happens.
Like all illusions, you can try to make an investigation roll. Try and figure out if it's an illusion or not, or you can just try and poke
Have you
it.
s-
Is there
have you s- Sorry.
is there something on the table here I can just like throw at it?
Probably. I mean, yeah, there is a small pea that has rolled out of the dish of your friend in front of you.
All right,
It's just a green
gonna-
pea that.
flick it at this tiny Tycoon.
Yo, if I give him levels in Monk, can I get him to deflect missiles for me?
So
All the reason you need the multi-class.
the
That's it.
the evolution of your object is deeply tied to your class and yourself. So it's there to help you and improve you, but it's not gonna get the ability to do everything you can. Right now, it can't. It doesn't have its own pool of energy for spells.
All right.
But if it's something that feels like it could be right, it could become an ability of his, but it will be one of its power increase. So
That's pretty fucking good.
yeah, but like you're not gonna get 20 power increase from this.
I know.
So you still need to think about them.
Man, if I can get it to have deflect missiles and counterspell, I'm set. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Throw a pea at my
Do I
decoy.
roll for that?
Yeah, an attack roll, improvised weapon, because you're flicking a pea.
Okay. So, is that gonna be strength or dex?
Um, let's go with dexterity because if you use too much strength, the strength, the P is just gonna explode in your hand.
So dexterity
Yeah.
without any proficiency because it's improvised.
Yeah.
So +0.
Unless you didn't tell me and you're proficient with throwing P's.
14.
When it's on me, does it share my AC?
When it's on you, I'd say yeah.
Then no, you miss.
No, nuts.
So you see the P coming straight at you, and you see it's gonna go for your mini U, and you just dodge it. And what?
I thought you could have like eaten it mid-flight, just catch it with his mouth. It's like, do illusions do that?
Well, in that case, if you want him to try and catch it, since it's a P, I don't mind.
Is that Dex?
Um,
And
I'd
sleight of hand, but for his mouth.
no, actually, I'd say I'd go with dexterity. Since he's
Alright.
trying to just midair.
Nat 1.
He just misses it completely. He opens his mouth and tries to snatch it, but it's literally a feet away from his head. So
I stroke him on the head. You'll get it next time, little buddy.
he just looks at you and
What is that?
He came to me in my dream. He just spoke my own words to me, and now here he is, all handsome like his original.
Well, that's really freaking weird.
you see the mini version of Tykar strike a pose.
That's weird, but you hearing voices from an ancient piece of rock in your chest is okay. All right. Did Tykar know about that? He knew, right? You told him? No, you didn't tell him. Never mind.
I think I told him. I told him about
If
it.
Yeah.
not,
Or
you're
you
just
have a vague
schizophrenic.
awareness.
You're a schizo.
At the very least, yeah, you know that Fisher talks to himself a lot.
I mean, fair, I guess. But like mine is something that's been around for a while. That's just another you that's small.
I'm not supposed to live past 30 years. For me, a day is it's an event, you know.
I guess.
For him, a day is a week for you. Well, actually, no,
Yeah,
for Fisher
he-
because he's practically ageless. So
Yeah, he came out of the mirror I got from the garden. He just walked out and told me a bunch of fun bird secrets.
Okay. That's interesting.
when you say that's interesting, you hear Mini Tykar go, "I'm fucking amazing," in the exact same voice as Tykar.
Oh no, that's not happening.
Believe it, baby. It's gonna be happening a lot.
Performance for the ages. And he looks at you, Tykar, and winks.
I wink back. And also, while I'm thinking about it, remember this one. Hey, you, fuck off, as I look at him.
He
And I
nods.
wink. All right.
Morning. You're definitely not the one I expected to be up first, though.
Yeah, well, things happen. I didn't drink heavily, and I slept alone. Two very important factors in me getting up earlier than usual.
Fair enough.
So,
Fisher, from inside of you, you hear Taranad go, and the IQ of this party just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping.
the average IQ.
You didn't hear that.
I'll just I'll think back. So when are you gonna be able to have your own form like that?
So, Tykar, you're hearing that. You don't necessarily know that he's talking to Taranad. From inside of you, Fisher, you hear Taranad say, well, it depends a bit on you, but I can try and manage this in different ways. But right now, you're not giving me a lot of energy to create much of anything through magic.
Fair enough. You know what? Don't worry about it. You're fine the way you are.
I was about to say something that would have been more appropriate for Tykar's friend. Sorry. In that case, Taranad's gonna go, that was nicer than usual. Are you sure you're all right today?
It was meant to be more of a backhanded compliment, but take it how you want.
Yeah, all right.
Casually negging an ancient being.
You get the feeling, the way that he said it, that he was doing the same thing. And as always, Tykar, you're just hearing this. You're only hearing what Fisher says.
Schizophrenic Robot 0. Amazing Bird Duo 1. I did it the wrong way around, but, you know.
Alright. Audience and Remy. Most likely, audience gonna wake up first because Remy has a severe hangover headache.
Yep.
I don't know. It's like I was literally slamming open every door that we came across. He might have opened up sooner.
There were 12 doors on my way, and I practiced on my closet 12 times before going downstairs.
So, was Tykar respecting the fact that some people might still be sleeping, or he was just slamming every door he could find open?
Dude, if someone's like room door was on my way and it looked unlocked, it got the slam.
Alright, so most likely, audience, you heard a sound coming from somewhere, but you know, you're not that, it's not that weird for you. You lived in a dragonborn city. Not city, but village, so loud noise waking you up. It's usually one of your brothers or cousins just doing the rooster version of for dragonborn. Remy, however, you are awoken by this slamming of doors, and with the headache that you have, it's more of a very rude, harsh, painful awakening.
Yeah, so, you know, just like shoots up, grabbing his head, just looking around, trying to figure out where the fuck that noise came from.
Seems to have come from outside.
It just just rubbing his forehead fiercely, trying to get his bearings straight. Looks to the side, realizes he didn't shut his lantern last night.
And you get the
And,
feeling that there's probably a few moments during the night that you don't remember. There's some gaps in your memory, like I was at the table, and then there was audience, and then there was audience, then there was a drink, then there was audience. Then I remember stairs and audience. And audience. The entire evening is just pictures of audience in your head, striking different poses. You have a scrapbook of him in your mind. I'll let you decide what you remember and what you don't remember.
Actually, I'll leave it to a history roll, because why not? As he tries to recollect his thoughts, he does definitely remember things with a 16.
Yeah.
As he's just starting to concentrate more and more on what happened last night.
I'd say you, with a 16, you can easily remember, I'd say, 3/4 of your night.
Probably weirdly scratching a part of his arm. It's like, why is this itchier than I remember?
Is there something missing?
Eventually, getting his bearings straight, he gathers his stuff and makes his way down.
Stumbling a bit. Hearing the thunderous noise that Tykar is making at the first floor.
Cringing as he gets closer and closer.
Most likely audience is only a few steps in front or behind you.
Yep, I would say so.
Knowing Remy, I'd say audience is probably a few steps in front of you. Helps you get motivated to go down the stairs even though you have a headache.
Also just serves as a natural sound barrier.
Oh, my head, audience. Oh, my head. He's dampening the noise. Thank you, audience. Audience, since you are a few steps in front of Remy, you are the second one to see Fisher talking to some guy and Tykar. And there's a miniature version of him on his shoulder right now.
I'll walk up to Tyker. I'll be like, I didn't know in your race the males could have children. I didn't know you were pregnant either, but I guess you learn things every day.
Okay. Well, aren't you a goddamn comedian in the morning? First off, I'm a guy. Secondly, he came to me in a dream. Not out my cloaca, okay? Now. You remember this mirror I used to have? I used to carry around in bars to...
Yeah, I think I saw it one time. You pull it out when you were, hitting on that lady.
Yes, well, he came out of it last night. And, well, now he's with me. Shared some...
So you had a baby with your mirror, is what I'm understanding. Got it. All right.
A mini version of you. Tykar, mini you is looking at you, and you have this impression that he's looking at you in a way that says, You didn't give me anything to repeat for that.
Well, he's gonna be traveling with us for now. He doesn't have a name other than fucking amazing, so that's the only way you can actually refer to him for now.
All right.
He refused many names I tried to give him.
I'll just call him your child then, and that's how I'll refer to him.
I look at
Until
him.
you give him a name.
I did teach you something for this occasion.
He looks at you with one eyebrow raised, sort of in a way that seems to tell you it's not big enough.
What can I say that won't get you banned?
You say something in Oran. He looks at you, nods. Looks at you, audience. He repeats this thing in Oran, which you have no clue what it means, but Remy, who is 5 step behind you, Tykar and Mini Tykar has just said something excessively rude to audience in a language you know he can't understand.
So, what would it take to mage hand flick that mini me off of his shoulder? What roll do I need to make to do this?
Is he 5 pounds and heavier?
Actually, I could do things up to 10 pounds. Thank you.
Oh, fuck. I'd imagine he's lower than 10 pounds if he's on my shoulder. Because that's like over 10% of my weight.
Well, usually, yeah, I'd say it's just a shove attempt. Since you are using an ability like this, I'd say you can go with a normal shove attempt, but using your spell proficiency modifier.
Okie doke. So then like treating it as or a spell attack roll, or just like as an ability check?
An ability check, but using the proficiencies of your spell.
Okay, so the spell attack roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Mostly I was just asking if it has a proficiency or not.
No, yeah.
Does a 24 flick you?
Tykar, roll. He's probably, meaning you, has a higher dexterity. Roll a d20 and just tell me the result.
For Dex.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't ready for it in that one.
Okay.
That you rolled on to snag the pea.
Okay.
Well, think about it this way: it is in fact invisible. Of course, he couldn't be prepared for it.
Can you make him do a dexterity saving throw for me? That's gonna tell me what happens next. Roll a d20.
Well, that's 20. A d20?
Yeah. Dexterity
Well, I mean-
saving throw for mini.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's 22.
22. All right. Well, the moment you say this, and you see your mini you turn around, say it back to audience, you know that audience hasn't understood a single thing of what that was, but you know what he said, and you know that that is something that even Sailor will beat you up for it. And then suddenly you feel a force pushing Mini you off of your shoulder, and he just goes flying, but because he had a good dexterity saving throw just before he hits the ground face first, he managed to open up his wing and glide just 1 or 2 feet and clumsily land on the ground, looking around him, confused at what just happened.
Ah, fuck, he can't tell. Alright. I was hoping he could tell, like, spells and shit.
Well, the problem is that there's many different spells which could do that.
Yeah.
Remy's magical hand is invisible because of his class. So,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, he knows it's a magical spell, but which one? And who cast it?
Alright, I'll just whistle and, like, bend down a bit to give him, like, a spot to fly back up on my shoulder.
He gets back up, he climbs.
You
In
good,
their
little buddy?
confusion, Raimi just gets closer to audience a bit defensively. Like,
Audience will just look a little bit weird. I'll be like, he's a little bit clumsy. Besides that, seems all right.
In that case, you do see mini version of Tykar look around at you. Hey, you, fuck off.
I'm gonna talon bump my mini.
He bumps you back.
Audience just shrugs, like, I've been called worse.
Remy, since you know, you're not sure if Audion has been called worse.
he doesn't know.
So, you're all there, nagging one another, and you see the person that was sitting in front of Fisher say, well, this is interesting. Is that your group?
Yep.
And you find Kobold weird.
Yeah.
All right. I've got nothing to say.
Well, y'all ready to head out?
Always sprint for glory.
Raimi makes a rainbow.
Except the
Sweet.
colors are a bit more dulled and less sharp, as to not fucking blind yourself.
You make the rainbow, and for a moment you.
The only time where color spray can actually inflict damage.
This is Draren here. He's gonna help us out a little bit.
I'm here to show you the way to this cave and inside the cave. But as I've told your friend, I'm not here to fight. So as soon as we get to this place where people have been saying that they've been meeting this creature, or that I can smell this feeling, that's the only way I can describe this, you're on your own from there.
The less people there, the less verses I have to write. That's good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but now there's two of you, so should be able to. Never mind. Not
That's fine,
important.
I'll just cut one of you out of the story.
Yeah, let's head out.
Fisher, from inside of you, you hear, I'm not getting the feeling he's going to be writing about us. I think they're going to be writing about each other.
I'm not sure I care.
I think your
You can tell the story after I die.
I think your dragonborn friend might.
Well, that's between him and his. Yeah.
Audience, I think you're muted. I saw your lips moving, but I didn't hear anything. Okay. All right. So, you eat your morning lunch, because all of you who paid for a meal can actually have your second meal as you get up. Gather your things, go to your cart. Fortunately, it is not an excessively windy day today. It's still windy, but you can at least hear yourself talk. You don't have to scream to one another. Weather seems pretty normal.
Yeah, Raimi just keeps absent-mindedly scratching at the same place on his body. It's like, honestly, I think after at some point he would eventually just like investigate, like, okay, what the hell? I wasn't this itchy yesterday.
All right, so probably as everyone is just gathering your stuff, preparing yourself to go in the cart for a while, or unless you all want to just walk all the way there, it's not that far away. You could leave the cart there and simply walk all the way to that cave. Already to get there, it's probably just an hour of walk, and once inside the mountains with a guide, it's going to be pretty fast. So
Probably safer to leave the cart in town than outside of a cave.
Okay. So, gather your things, take what you need, and then you start walking away. Okay.
And then the wind picks up again.
No, I have already rolled for the entire day. I know what's going to happen for that. I was rolling for something else.
Oh.
Yeah, he warned me that something happened that he had to take care of right now. So,
All right.
for now, we're just going to go and... Yay!
On layer.
All right. There you go. Okay. So you start walking away, and like I said, it takes about an hour. The trip is pretty uneventful. At the foot of a mountain, especially with a guide, it's not that hard to find your way where you need to go. And actually, after an hour, you are at the foot of the mountain and you do see a little path, and you hear your friend just go, "Oh, we're almost here." Pretty sure you can see it all the way over there. There's a small entrance. That's where most people enter to get to this place. So, oh goodness, sorry. So, it's not going to be that hard. But if you need to prepare, now might be a good idea, because it's maybe another hour, an hour and 3/4 before we get to where dangers have been manifesting itself.
I'm always prepared.
He says while yawning.
Really weird that this Warforged yawned. Raises a lot of questions.
Well, you're not sure if he yawned. You just saw his mouth open wider than usual, as if he was about to say something and close again.
I would say that apart from stretching, Raimi is probably just like also intermittently drinking from his decanter, trying to like make the hangover headache finally go away.
And yeah, since there's an entire hour of walking to get there, Remy would most likely have had time to groom himself properly. You can make an investigation roll if you want to see what's missing on you.
It probably annoyed him enough. Okay, I didn't really want the natural 20 to be wasted on this, but okay.
After maybe 20 minutes of walking, why? You just look at your arm and as if you knew exactly where to watch and what to look for. With a natural 20, I'd even give you that you might even start having bits of memory coming back to you about what happened.
I just at least for Fisher and Thykar, I just want you to imagine at some point during the walk. In fact, maybe even as he's like decantering a bit, it's like wide open, spit take, feathers fluffle.
You doing okay there, bud?
He just looks at you with a panicked look on his face, but isn't sure how to express that panic.
Fisher's gonna do a quick 360 to look around and see if something's wrong.
Make a perception roll.
Every time. 14 and 16 with Terranad.
You, come on, man! You're just making this easy for me. That's.
I feel like I roll 13 constantly.
You are aware that very often a default value goes by 5. You know.
Yep.
Okay. So you start looking around for a moment with a slight panic, and then you hear Terranad go, I don't think he was looking around himself. I think he was looking at himself. Seriously, you really need to try and look at people more. It's starting to be a bit embarrassing.
But they're boring.
I can't argue with that.
And then just for the rest of the walk, he's kind of like staring at audience, but not with the usual look.
An audience looks slightly distracted right now.
But yeah, it's fine though, because like he's always watching from behind anyway. Can't even notice.
All right. So, Fisher, you notice that Remy seems to be worried about something, which relates to him. And from the way he keeps glancing at audience, it has to do with something that with audience. That's all right. So
Fisher's not going to bring anything up.
that's okay. You don't have to. So you keep on walking, and like I said, after an hour, you reach the foot of the mountain. You guides just takes a moment, look around, spies around. All right, well, doesn't seem to be anything problematic nearby, so let's just keep on going. Alright. I'm missing 2 dice. Oh, that's...
Just have to buy yourself more for Christmas.
You don't want
And
to
that's
see
when
what...
the Tarask descends upon us.
Alright. So, you walk around like this for a while, and he does seem to know where he's going. A few times he just looks at all of you and just, try and not be this obvious when you're walking. He especially looks at you, Fisher, when you're walking, because the clink-a-dong, clink-a-dong, clink-a-dong. I mean, there's nothing excessively dangerous here, but you never know when something dangerous could spill out of a cave, you know. It's especially since we know we're going to danger.
I'm sorry, this is just like the noise I make.
Right. Is it coming from inside of you? Sorry, that might be a bit too personal. Sorry. Let's keep on going.
If your feet were made of metal, you might make a little more noise too.
I mean, I know someone who has a metal leg, so lost it at sea. You know, happened sometime. He's been hunting the poor creature ever since, though.
I knew a guy like that once.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, he's a real dick.
So, you make your way, keep making your way toward the entrance of this cave. And on your way, well, actually, this would be for Remy because you have the highest passive perception. And it is high enough for you to notice this. Maybe a few minutes after reaching the general area where the cave is, you do notice strange shimmers of light appearing and disappearing around you. They're very faint. It's sort of just like a visual illusion light trick, as if it was being catched by something and reflected in an odd way. But it doesn't seem to have any depth or width. It's just a wavy shimmer of light, like looking at the Northern Lights, but without the color. Just
a shimmer.
Yeah,
of sorts.
That sort of moves and waves a little bit, but it doesn't seem to have density. It's just. Being a Kenku, you probably also find it slightly pretty because of the shimmering, shiny effect it has.
And it's like maybe every time he sees it, just kind of like maybe even if it's like a little bit out of his reach, kind of like jump to see if he can touch it, but then disappointed that.
Make a dexterity roll for me.
All right, let's see if you get shinies, Raimi. Soft 20.
Okay. Most likely fast enough to catch it. So, at one point, you do notice that there is one that seems to appear inside of arm's reach, and you just reach for it and you're sure you touched it. It really doesn't seem to have any consistencies, but you did notice that as your hand passed through it, the shimmering effect reacted to your hand, pretty much the same way a curtain would. But it quite literally didn't have any mass.
Maybe now just has like just like a very intrigued but also confused look on his face now. But then probably realizes he's being left behind as he was doing this, and just like
Yeah,
to catch up with everyone.
since you were looking at audience with such a panic, you probably fell behind a few steps. So no one else is noticing this. This is why, and with passive perception, this is why it's sort of, no one's watching.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's
I'm
all right.
back, by the way. Just letting you
It's
know.
okay. All you missed was Ramie's panic attack, but don't worry about it.
All right.
Since audience didn't see it because Remy is walking behind you. So anything else Remy would like to do with this, or does he just keeps going?
I almost want to see if he could maybe roll either like an Arcana or History to see if there's like something familiar about this phenomenon in some way.
Yeah, I'd say you can. Tell me which one you want to roll. It's not going to be the same information.
I'm gonna go with. We'll make it Arcana.
Okay.
That'll be a 21.
21. Thinking back to all of the books that you read, that you were forced to read while you were copying scrolls to make the scroll look as authentic as possible without them actually working. You do remember reading a little bit about things which can warp light while looking at illusion magic. And while there's not a lot to remember, you do remember that sometime there can be a presence of magic in some place. Magic which shouldn't be there. What makes it appear in this place, that's what mages find more intriguing to study. But when it happens, it's usually that there is a very high concentration of magic. To the point where it can refract light to a very small degree. And it's actually one of the inspirations for many wizard when they start studying invisibility spells. Some of the concept of this comes from this, but what you're seeing is sort of the incredibly primitive version of it, unusable usually.
Yeah, Raimi, as he continues walking, he's actually going to. He's going to be like kind of like keeping an eye out for more of this, especially if it gets like more frequent or more noticeable as they walk along, and And I guess maybe just like out of like a certain curiosity, just to see if something might happen, he's also going to like pull his lantern out as well
Okay.
and see like maybe this area even affects the light inside of his lantern, and that's what he's doing for the rest of the walk.
Okay. In that case. All right, so you take out your lantern and you start waving it in front of you, see if the light's gonna catch on at one point. And audience, since Raimi is walking right behind you, you do have a feeling that, man, you seem to be radiating light.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There's just this light that seems to be coming from you or right behind you, but damn, it's kind of nice.
I've been told before I have a natural glow, so.
Oddly enough, even with Remy doing this, audience doesn't have a high enough passive perception to detect anything new. The only one who would notice something new with this is Tykar, who, with this slight level of help, you do notice that there's a bright light that just appeared at the back of the group. And just as you turn around to see where the light's coming from, you see two things. First, when you look at audience, it's a bit like looking at light coming from the clouds. You know, it sort of beams from the sides of him. And then you realize that Remy is just behind him, and he's emitting that light. But then, just off one of the shoulders of audience, you catch one of this shimmer pattern that just appears, waves for a moment, and then just gets reabsorbed in nothingness.
Guess I'm walking backwards, just like turning my head so I can look around the audience and towards Raimi and just like point up in the direction where it was, like in relation to him, like just like cock my head like, no, you see this shit?
So audience, you see that Tykar is looking roughly in your direction, giving this look. And then Remy, with your passive perception, it's not hard to see that Tykar is actually looking at you.
Did Tiger say out loud, "Are you seeing this shit?"
Yeah.
Oh, I would respond, I'm pretty sure it's just my natural glow.
Yeah, just my natural glow. And then I just look back at Raimi. Like, you see that?
Like Raimi is kind of like looking around now to see like maybe there's like a particularly obvious strand that he can like point out to audience.
It doesn't last long enough. The moment that you try and point at it, it just reabsorbs. It's not something that's continuously there, but it's sort of like walking, and then you see this ribbon of shimmering light, and maybe a second and a half after, it just... Well, if you want to bring the entire party into this light ribbon hunting moment, of course, now since it's been pointed out, Fisher and audience, you can both roll perception if you want.
I'm gonna get a 10 or a 9.
I'm gonna roll another 13.
Oh no, I rolled a 14.
Nope.
It's a good perception day for audience.
Well, so 4, but then 6 with Terran.
So you just notice that everyone's talking, and you turn your head slowly. Then you hear Terranad go, "You know, I can't see if you don't turn around completely." This is why none of you see this. But audience, with Tykar and Raimi both looking at them as they appear, you said you rolled a 14?
Yeah.
14?
Well, no, I got a 14. I rolled a 15.
You roll a 15, then you go, alright. Well, 14 would be enough with both of them helping you, and oh, there's one there, and then there's one there. So you, for a moment, just, what? Me? I'm... And then you see this flicker of light just go in front of your eyes. Like I said, it's sort of like the Northern Lights, but without the colors. It's just the light waving for a moment, as if made of as if a curtain made of nothing.
Okay. Audience will basically just be like, "Oh, pretty," and then move on.
And then you just see him walk through this ribbon of light. So through his nonchalantness, I don't know if you can say it like this, but audience has just proven you that there is no harm in touching them. At least none that you can perceive.
Dies 3 days later from unknown causes.
You have magical cancer. I guess Raimi, not wanting to be left behind, quickly just catches back up to audience.
You get your guide that just looks back and, are you alright? Is there a reason why everyone stopped walking?
I don't know. Pretty lights, I think. People got distracted.
Oh, well, try and stay focused. There hasn't been any attack outside of the cave, but you know, we're going with rumors, so you never know. It could have walked out eventually. Maybe it was a temporary thing and it came out, but stay alert, but also keep together, you know, and warn me next time you want to stop walking.
Will do.
Fisher, from inside of you, you hear Terranad go, "So we all saw lights, but our guide didn't?" That's reassuring.
What lights? I rolled a 4 on my perception. I don't know.
Oh,
what
no,
you're
I know.
talking about.
Andre knows that he's bullshitting Fisher, but Fisher doesn't know that. It's all part of the mystery of being very smart. Making it look like you're smarter than everyone else.
The allure of intelligence.
So, you keep seeing this, but it's... After a while, it just seems to be more of a pretty effect of something happening. There doesn't seem to be any danger. Like I said, it doesn't have any weight to it. It's not made of something. Whenever you see one that arrives within arm's reach, if you reach out and try to grab it, there's nothing there. It's just a curtain of light which shimmers for a moment that has no mass. So you keep on going, and after maybe another 15 minutes, you find yourself inside of the cave. So,
Alright.
and
And there are two things we're looking for, right? We're looking for mushrooms, and we're also looking for that moss.
Yeah.
So I will keep, and I guess we're looking for three things. We're looking for a flailing monster, mushrooms, and moss. So I guess I will keep my eyes peeled for all three of those things.
Raimi, knowing that that vision was a problem for the last group, just proudly displays his lantern and provides light for everybody.
all right, you push magical energy inside it, and the lantern lights up.
Oh, it already should still have It should already have energy.
Yeah, you're right. It hasn't been 8 hours. So yeah, you just completely open the shutter, and bright light for everyone else. And audience. I know you love them. Make an intelligence roll for me, please.
All right. Again, audience perception intelligence a little bit up today. He had a good night's sleep. Apparently, he got a 12.
Oh. Well, in that case, there's this moment of, oh, bright light. Oh, that was him all along.
Oh no! Raimi disappointed audience.
Well, it's fine. My scales still reflected light enhanced it. I still have a glow. Audience always will spin it in the right way for him.
Okay. So you enter the cave and... Right. Your guide seems to know very well where it's going, and I will have to ask the question, is any of you also paying attention to the surrounding? Or are you just following the guide?
I mean, I just noticed that I was walking, which is a big no-no for Thykar when it's not necessary. So,
Well, and you just entered a cave, so that's even worse for you. You probably have visible...
I'm visibly not okay right now.
Yeah.
I would much rather not be in this cave.
So, and for Raimi, that's even more obvious to you because you have the highest passive insight of everyone, and Tykar isn't trying to hide it. At least, I don't think he is. So you notice that the moment you all entered into the cave, his stress level went up one notch. Yeah.
I was just gonna mention that I am also paying attention
Then
to.
make a perception roll.
All right, this is when it gets bad because I've had two decent ones in a row, so now it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, making.
I see. I told you. I got a 4.
So audience looks around. All right, we're safe. With a 4 perception, he might even be starting to whistle a bit as you all walk,
Listen, I don't have dark vision. I'm not supposed to see in caves. That's not my job.
Well, that's what the lantern is for.
Well, the glow is hitting my back. I can't see in front of me. I block it all.
All right, so the marching order is the guide, Remy completely at the back, audience right in front of him. So I guess the only question is Tykar and Fisher. Who is in front of who?
Oh, I feel like I I kind
I
of
want-
slowed down and ended up more towards the back so that the guide couldn't hear me being loud as well.
I was gonna say I want to be as close to the exit as possible.
The moment you all enter the cave, you see Tykar and Fisher letting the group go in front of them. So I guess this means that the marching order becomes Audience, Remy, Fisher, and Tykar? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess would Rainy have been close enough to the front to make his own perception as they're going inside, or
Yeah, sure.
do. That'll be 19.
Okay. With a 19. All right. While Audience is blissfully moving onward, and almost has that reflex of starting to whistle, you look around and something does feel off about the entrance of that cave. You can see very, very faint signs of rot. As if something had rotten and starting to produce small mushrooms. But usually, moss doesn't rot. At least you've never seen moss that can rot.
Yeah, Rainy, especially if Tykar and Fisher looked like they're lagging behind as Rainy is noticing this moss. He kind of looks back and kind of makes a sort of a come closer gesture. You know what I'm talking about? Just come on.
Is his lantern the only source of light we have right now?
Right now, yes.
So, I'll also use Terranad to cast light,
Okay.
and then I guess do the little, not quite a jog, but faster than walking thing that you do when you're crossing the street when there's a car waiting for you.
Yeah, just so that. Oh,
The I'm sorry run.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That exactly fits the description. All right. He's not far away. You catch up with him within the equivalent of a single turn.
What's up?
It's is any as they're walking in, is there any? Actually, no. Duh, I'm an idiot. He kind of minor allusions the rotting moss that he saw. It's I don't need to show him. I need to find it.
Can I try and plant the tree, by the way?
Well, right.
No, we forgot about him so much we straight up forgot his acorn back in.
Well, no, you have an acorn with you. The problem is that you're walking inside a cave. There's nowhere to plant him in.
I was thinking it'd stick him in some fungi. Maybe he'd grow.
You can try.
I'll try.
Oh goodness. All right. So you take Everyone is more proficient with magic than you. So you take the acorn and you make a few steps toward one of the rot thing that Remy had just illusion to, drawing Fisher's attention to this weird rot, which you also know that moss, you've never seen moss rot. Usually you see moss near rot, but you don't see moss actually rot. And then you see audience arriving with the acorn and trying to push it inside the rot. There's a moment of what the heck in your mind, as mixing odd things and magic seldom have good result.
Maybe if he actually notices this, like,
Remy would easily notice this with a passive perception of 17.
oh yeah, so immediately the mage hand is coming out, and just like, and if possible, just kind of like slap the acorn out of his goddamn hand.
So you're there and you're just about to push the acorn inside the rot, and then you see the acorn go boom, boom, boom. As if someone had just slapped your hand.
I'll go pick up the acorn and try again.
I was sure.
It's like you now hear in your head, audience, no, as the mage hand once again knocks as an invisible force knocks the acorn out of your hand.
I'll turn to Remy because I know it's him. I'll be like, listen, Remy, I know you don't like the tree that much, but he could be useful.
Remy is just going to, I don't know, like talon beak for a second, and he's actually going to gently take audience's head and just kind of like bring it closer to the rot.
So Remy,
so that he can more visibly see what he's trying to do.
Because that's going to help, because I'm going to understand that.
so you see Remy goes on the tip of his toes because reaching out to your head, being nearly 7 feet tall, it's still a.
He might actually have to jump.
Oh, he's just gonna pull on one of your ears. And he pulls you closer to the ground, closer to the rot. You have the acorn in your hand.
Uh-huh. Do I notice?
And now he's going to minor illusion, a skull and crossbones.
You see this skull and crossbone appearing just in front of you.
Fine. I'll be like, fine. I won't plant the tree, I guess. You know, he's never that useful anyway. I guess it probably won't make a difference. Put the acorn back.
How big was this cluster of moss or fungi that he was trying to plant it in?
Maybe 2-inch wide. A bit of an ovoid shape.
Hey, audience,
Yeah.
can you explain to me how a tree would grow out of that?
I don't know. It's a magic tree. I don't know what laws they work by.
Yeah, I think that's why Raimi's trying to slow you down there.
Why? Are we worried about that it won't grow? What's the harm in trying?
There could be none. There could be instead something else grows, and it's then we have to kill it.
I'll think about that for a second. I mean, okay. I guess we do have enough firewood right now.
plants it in the moss, comes out looking like Sloth from the Goonies.
Eventually,
Maybe just looks so relieved when the acorn is put away.
why do I get the impression that the dimensional storing space I'm gonna give you at one point is gonna be filled with elemental tree corpse?
No, we're gonna put a layer of topsoil in there so we can just plant him in there whenever we need to.
Yeah, could work. All right, so your guy just looking at all of you doing all this stuff. So are we done? Unless this is what you're looking for.
Well, I was trying to plant an elemental tree, but they don't want me to.
Okay. Oddly enough, I've heard stranger things. Let's keep on going. Do you follow?
Yes.
All right. So you keep on going, and seems to be pushing you forward quite skillfully. Even a few branches, he seems to know exactly where he's going. Decides to go left, decides to go right. Then at one point, you're starting to reach a place where the cavern grows just slightly more, slightly wider. You've been walking maybe for 15-20 minutes when this happens. And keep going with the perception that Remy has had. You've noticed that there's been an increase, very faint, but a definite increase in this rot that seems to appear out of nowhere and also where it's not supposed to be. Small mushrooms that look slightly funny, bit weird. Right now, most of those mushrooms don't go beyond an inch high. You notice that they have this strange purple color. Or maybe is it violet?
You know what I can do?
Yeah.
I can use one of my divine senses.
Okay.
Talk about purple is usually a great sign of good things.
Where is the complete definition of this already?
You know, like
The
Rainbow's
mind
coat.
sense.
Do you want me to read? Okay.
Oh. Okay. So you use that sense, and it's a bit odd. You get a weird feeling from it, as if it was something in betweens. Drawing from undead, but not not there yet.
Okay. I'll tell the party. I'll be like, so whatever's in here, these mushrooms, they seem to be drawing from some kind of like undead power, but not like it's not. They're not completely. It's not completely undead yet.
Okay.
You hear your guide go, Oh, well, we're almost where this odd feeling usually starts to happen, so this might be the beginning of it.
I'll say, all right, guys, stay on your toes. Might be getting near where something might actually become dangerous.
All right, well, he looks around a bit nervously and we'll just keep going just around this little bend. It's usually where you can see um, where this is as far as I'm gonna get you. And he starts walking nervously. You walk maybe for 100 feet, and at that moment, you see him stop and right. This is what I was talking about. This feeling of grave and sort of like smelling the morning inside of a graveyard, but not smelling it, feeling it. And as you all get closer, you can all make a wisdom roll. I believe Taikar, because of your versatility, you can add the half proficiency.
Okay.
That's a nat 20 for a 19.
Holy shit. That's another nat one.
Bruh, you doing okay?
That's I didn't do much better. That's a 2 plus 2, so a 4 for me.
I'm too panicked to look around me.
Yeah,
Is the Kenku really the bravest person in the party here besides Fisher? 15.
well, bravest, I don't know. Audience is brave to the point of sometimes being foolish. Fisher is brave. Remy is probably somewhere in between. You know, he's brave, but also smart. Taikar, you are so nervous about being underground that you don't pick up on anything. You've been walking underground for nearly 40 minutes. That's as deep as you ever have been inside the earth. You're starting to freak out about seeing gargoyles at every shadows. Audience, as with usual, you just look around and take a big whiff of just smells like damp cave. Fisher and Remy, you rolled high enough to recognize this is the smell of a sliver of shard. You've just entered the influence of a sliver.
Does it seem at all familiar to the one, like the nightmare one we were in? That had all the undead in it?
Familiar in the sense that it might come from the same family of possibilities, but not familiar as in it's definitely that thing.
Okay.
So at that point, you see your guide say, you're almost there. You just need to keep following the tunnel. Usually within 500 feet, you're going to start finding the moss and mushrooms that you're looking for. I'm not going further than this. This is where people have started claiming that attacks have been happening. I know my way around the world. I'm just not that good of a fighter.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right, let's go figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm just holding Mini-Me in my hand, just like really close up to my chest, just like rubbing his back with my thumb talon.
And the more you keep walking, the more you keep stroking his head harder and harder. And at one point, you pull one when everyone stops and starts sniffing around, looking around. You just pull one of his feather off, and you hear go, "Ah, hey you, fuck off!"
Sorry, buddy. Is he panicked or is he doing okay?
No, he's good. He's not the same kind of creature as you. He just looks at you. He is the incarnation of whatever consciousness lives inside the mirror.
Okay.
Okay. It's like I just rolled a thing real quick, and Rainy just kind of noticing, and then kind of reluctantly goes over to Thykar and just kind of like pats him on the shoulder. Like, there, Rainy, it'll be all right.
I appreciate the concern, but you don't know the feeling of being grounded against your will.
Rainy actually stares at you hard. You're free to insight that.
Yeah, have you ever seen any?
You've never known the liberties of flight, so you don't know what it's like to be like forced to not fly.
Yeah, but the stare he
can't
just
know.
gave you. Have you ever seen any of the Paddington movies? It's because it's probably one of those stare that he just gave you. Paddington Brown.
All right, let's roll an insight. That's a 4. Don't worry, I'm the. I didn't get it. Man, if there's a fight, I really hope I'm getting my shitty rolls out of the way right now.
Let's hope so. So,
Or I have to pull out the physical dice.
so Remy, you notice that he really doesn't get it.
You hear something in a language that you don't know, and he just walks back ahead of you.
I don't know why. I think I have an idea what it is. So, all right. So you keep on moving toward this point.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So you keep on moving, and just as he said, after maybe a few hundred feet, you get into this place. The entrance of the cave widens to the point where you can all stand one beside one another and see inside. It's sort of a cave that's a little bit wide. You hear running water somewhere in there. Actually, light from light spell is 20 feet. It's 40 feet in total. Is that it? 20 feet of bright light and 20 feet of dim light.
Hold on. It's been a hot minute. It's probably somewhere close to that.
Yeah, I think
It's either 2040 or 3060.
Yeah. So from where you are, it's 20. All right.
Oh yeah, 20. Yeah, it's 2040.
Right. So as you arrive on the border of this opening, this cave, the light fills the cave. It is. Sorry, it is about 40 feet wide and almost as deep. The lantern that you have shines light almost at the back of it. you can see a little bit of a shimmer of light at the far end of the cave where you've entered, completely from where you're standing, to your left, and you'd be judging maybe like 40 or 50 feet away that you hear this faint running water. The sound echoes, so it's probably very wide in this place and probably trails off somewhere else, but you don't see the other side of the cave from where you are. The light does catch a little bit of shine on a few mushrooms. There are some maybe 20 feet away from you to your left. To your right, you see literally the wall. There's nothing there. But to your left, there's a few mushrooms growing, and they do look like what you're looking for. And also a few rocks that you recognize the moss on. But as you enter this room, Remy, because of your high passive perception, you hear a little bit of shuffling, as if someone had just kicked a pile of leaves.
Did he hear from which direction, or
Somewhere
not
in
precise enough for that?
somewhere in front of you. Not directly in front of you, but trace a cone in front of you. It happens somewhere in that cone.
Okay. So, Raimi, just kind of like looking around some more, seeing if he can notice anything actively, but otherwise, it says has already pulled out his dagger.
Well, that was a passive perception. If you're actively looking, you can roll passive. You can roll perception.
Like that probably sounds like a gooder idea. That's gonna be soft 20.
Okay. As you're all entering this place, you can all roll perception if you want to.
Hey. That was a 15 for me.
Okay. Anyone else rolled?
19 and 21 with Paranad.
Okay. Tykar, you're still very stressed about this, so you didn't roll, is that it? Okay.
No, I actually rolled. And yeah, he's still stressed as shit. He rolled a 7.
Okay. So all of you've just entered this room, and you can all feel that. Well, actually, Fisher and Raimi feels the graveyardy feeling that's coming off of this, as if you'd just been thrown a handful of graveyard soil. Audience, you don't get that feeling, but you rolled high enough with perception that, alright, you do notice some of the mushrooms inside the room, especially with Remy's light and Fisher's light, which makes the whole thing very bright. And audience, Remy and Fisher, you do notice that there seems to be very small, delicate roots all over the floor in this place.
I'm gonna pop another divine sense.
The range is 50 feet.
60.
60 feet.
60.
Okay. The feeling doesn't change. It just intensifies. It's a heavy feeling of something that is not quite undead, but pushing toward undead. And it radiates from everywhere. But even more, if you look straight forward along the wall that is on your right, you do have the feeling that the point of radiation of this is further straight in front of you.
Okay. I will again mention that to the group.
Can I shoot a firebolt at the little roots?
Oh, so we're just kicking things off immediately.
You can always try.
Yeah. That is a is a spell attack roll, right?
Yeah.
12.
12. How far away from you are you shooting that? With all the lights that you have, you can see that this bigger that bigger cave inside of the cave you've been going through it's about 40 feet deep. After that, you see that it goes back to a long corridor and it turns beyond your range of sight.
I just at whatever's closest, I think.
Well, there is some as close as 10 feet away.
Yeah, probably there.
All right. You gather the energy in your hand. You see the fire coming out from your fingers, and you just throw the firebolt. And you see the firebolt. It goes. It touches the ground and starts burning whatever is there. And suddenly you hear this shuffling from everywhere as if something has started moving or reacting to this a bit nervously. And the shadows allows you to see 4 objects moving inside the room. Damn, I only have 3 with one color. One of them seems to be completely at the back, and it's just a mushroom that seems to detach itself. You realize the mushroom is maybe 4 feet tall, but it was just completely hidden inside of the fungal growth and very close to the wall. It detaches itself from the wall and slowly starts creeping forward. It looks like I said, a moreal mushroom, but 4 feet tall. And you do notice that it's sliding very slowly toward you. And suddenly you see these tendrils coming up from the ground. There's 4 of them. And he starts moving. And you see another one just beside him starting to do the same thing. And you see them both approaching you. Slowly. And this is where we're going to take our break for tonight, because we're way overdue for the break. So,
sorry.
That's all right. So, we're going to take our break right now as you see these large mushrooms detaching themselves from the walls and starting to slide toward you.
Burn them all.
All right, so we're taking our break very late, so I'm literally will time myself to be back in 10 minutes. So, go to the bathroom. Maybe it's in the back room also, but go to the bathroom, take something to eat, to drink. We'll be back in 10 minutes. See you in 10 minutes. Bye.
See you in 10.
Aha, welcome back. And as you can see, the battle map has been loaded. And so, as we enter this combat, Tykar and Remy, you can't see this, but Fisher and audience, you see, well, Remy does see the two mushrooms that have peeled off from the back wall and are slowly moving forward. Actually, I didn't move them forward. And slowly moving forward, Fisher and audience, from your point of view, you can also notice two other mushroom peeling off the wall at E9 and D9.
E9 and D9. Okay.
So, let's roll for initiative.
Did you say E and D or B?
D.
Okay.
Like downward.
I rolled a 14.
Six.
Okay. Remy and Tykar?
10.
I got a 12.
I am going first.
And
Of our party members, at least.
mushrooms don't have good dexterity. So
Who knew?
Good to know.
Yeah. I've never seen too many mushrooms run at me, so I have no personal experience with that.
Hey guys, quick letting you know, battle plan right now. I bait all the mushrooms into the running water and then use my lightning breath on the running water, electrocuting all of them.
Genius.
Fairly certain with my 8 intelligence, you are not immune to thunder.
No, but I am resistant. I'm lightning.
lightning, not
lightning.
thunder.
Not thunder.
Oh,
I am.
All right.
That's
I am
the
not.
intelligence speaking.
So for those of you for those of you among the viewers who do not have the same idea of what a Moreel look like, if you are familiar with monsters, the party is currently fighting against 4 violet fungus. And so, the first one to attack is audience. You have beaten the monster's initiative.
Audience, surprisingly enough, is having a very intelligent day, as shown by his perception rolls. So, instead of immediately attacking, he's going to do this crazy thing where he's going to pop this potion of necrotic resistance he's had since like day 1.
From the first fight. No, actually the second fight.
He's going to pop it. As his, I think that would be his bonus action. I don't know actually if it's an action. We just push resistance. I don't know if it's an action or a bonus action.
I don't know. This is one of those things that Critical Role has muddled very much. Where is the potion? Potion of necrotic damage.
It doesn't say. It's just when you drink this potion, you get resistant necrotic damage for 1 hour.
I mean, potions in general
I think it's an
require an action.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Then I won't do much. I will do that, and then I will not want to run into the cave. Will kind of take up a defensive position, basically where I am.
All right. So drinking or administering a potion takes an action. Here we go.
Yeah. So I will pop that. I will pop that then, and then basically stay. I'm A. Yep. I'll pretty much stay exactly where I am, and just kind of guard. You know, get into a ready position for combat.
I hate how our initials lined up.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a 12-year-old child.
So, all right. So, audience, you have just gained necrotic resistance for 1 hour.
All right.
Fortunately, Tykar, the monster goes before you. So you're gonna have one more round to think about what you're doing. And they move at an incredible speed of 5 feet.
Oh, I should have waited. Waiting for a while.
Now we
However,
got time.
as they are moving, you, audience, you do fall within the reach of their tentacle, which is 10 feet.
Oh,
I see.
boy.
So,
Some
Of one of them?
Of
Oh,
one
yeah,
of
the
them,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, one of them.
So,
Okay.
I need.
Hit me, big boy. Hit me.
Well, as you can see, all the tendrils on him, there are 4 tendrils, and only one of them attacks you right now.
Okay.
And this is nothing impressive. The tendril attacks you for an incredible 11.
I'll just
To
do
hit.
the thing where I'll take my metal arm or my arm that started to be covered by like the dragon arm. I'll just swat it away casually. Get out of here.
Audience, the brave, just swatting tentacle away. All right. And that's about what they can do. Which means we now are 2. Well, actually, it's Remy with a 12.
Okay. This kind of stinks a little bit. So yeah, it really sucks that audience didn't move, so I guess I'm just going to have to live with this. Like Raimi is just going to throw his dagger at the nearest mushroom.
Okay. In that case, it'll be the one at C8.
So that'll be a 14 to hit.
It does hit.
Again, mushrooms not known for the
That's-
dexterity.
No.
And that will be 5 piercing damage as the good boy whizzes past.
Alright.
And then as a bonus action, he calls the good boy back.
Alright. So you said how many damage?
Only 5.
5. Alright. Okay. So you throw your dagger and it slices a bit at the top of the mushroom and comes back. See, the mushroom reacts a bit, but all in all, seems to be doing fairly well.
Oh, really?
You know, you can't cut off the head of a mushroom and it's still alive. It's something I've learned.
And then I guess Raimi is going to. Oh, I'm not 100% sure. Is A Is A5 traversable space, or is that more like a curved wall in?
No, it's traversable space, but there's mushroom growing there, so it would be considered difficult terrain.
Okay. I just wasn't sure about the. Kind of sucks that these things have like apparently a huge reach, but Raimi is going to briefly occupying audiences in Fisher space. He is going to move to B4.
Okay.
And end his turn there.
Okay, just as you leave the reach of the two mushrooms, the two mushrooms are going to try and take an attack of opportunity on you.
All right, am I in the reach of the second mushroom?
Well, the first one...
Only 10 feet?
You really wanted me to come back so you could show me.
We can hear someone
okay,
yell in the background.
Okay, I can see where it is now. Okay.
Sam, your parents' discussion is taking over the background.
There's not too much I can do about that.
No, that's right. It's just they were literally covering what Remy was saying.
That's impressive. They're not even in like the same side of the house as me.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay, so sure, as you move right in front of the one that is C8, when you reach B6, you leave his reach because they have a reach of 10 feet. But the one that is at D8, you're gonna go out of his reach the moment that you move to B7. Or out of B7.
So then they have a 15-foot reach.
No, actually, no, 10.
Because if I,
yeah,
because
no,
like, because I'm imagining because like we're not allowed to move through through ally spaces or. I could understand the first one because like I'm already in their reach, but if I travel through audience's space, Fisher's space.
Oh, okay. No, sorry. All right.
A5.
No, I thought you were moving in front of them. All right. No, that's okay.
No.
And they're not gonna oppose you as you try and walk by them because they're your friends. Yeah, no, don't worry. If you're going like this, there's no problem. So I'm just gonna take away the second attack roll that I made. Unfortunately, the first one was a natural 20. So.
Of course it was.
Okay, so, but it's really not going to be impressive. As you move right in front of this mushroom and leave its reach, it reaches out, touches you, just licks a bit of your back as you move by him, and you suffer 1 point of necrotic damage as you feel the lick of this tentacle burn your back a little bit.
Is that even possible for a natural 20? It's just for 1 damage?
No, sorry, 2. Sorry. I rolled a 1, I mean.
Okay, it's like while I would appreciate only taking 1 damage, it's just like that just doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm sorry. I meant I rolled a 1 point of necrotic damage. So time 2 for the critical hit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about all they can do for now. So we go to Tykar with a 10.
All right.
From your point of view, Tykar, the only mushroom that you see is the one is at C8.
All right. Well, that thing doesn't belong anywhere near me. So I'm going to take a shot at it with my hand crossbow.
All right. From your point of view, I'd say it does have half cover.
Okay. Do not care, nat 20.
Then roll for damage.
Crossbow damage. 7, so that's going to be a 14.
Okay. All right, you see this crossbow bolt just fly off and hit it. Well, I was gonna say right between the eyes, but you know it's a mushroom, so it hits just under the cap where the stalk reaches, and it almost decapitate
Jesus.
it in a single shot. But it's still alive, just really not healthy.
All right. I'm guessing you guys would rather not be in the corner right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop Mantle of Inspiration, so you guys all get 5 temp HP and you can move without provoking opportunity attacks.
Alright.
And since they only move like 5 feet per turn, we can actually be safe for like 2 turns.
Oh, wait, not that.
I guess Rami will move to D2.
Right, Remy moves to D2. Fisher in audience, is there anywhere you'd like to move?
Ideally adjacent to somebody. That's a selfish suggestion, but
Wait, can I move? I'm gonna move to F5.
Okay.
I will go to E6.
6. Okay. And what about Tykar? Does he want to stay in this little corner or he wants to move away?
He wants to move, but he can only move 25 feet.
So where does he want to move?
Actually, can I go to D7 instead?
Yeah, it's even closer to where you were, so.
Yeah.
All right. Best I can do with 25 is move over to B5.
Okay.
And that's going to be my turn.
All right. Well, in that case, as you all move around, inspired by Tykar's ability, audience and Remy, you find yourself in a position to see something else. Way at the back.
I may have just regretted my movement.
Way at the back at
Oh, fuck.
at G and H 9 and 10, you see a huge version of those mushrooms. This one is very large. A little bit taller than audience. It is a large monster. And it has
Jesus.
a monstrous number of tentacles flailing about.
Well,
dear.
good thing I popped that potion.
That's not gross at all.
Theoretically, if I were to retreat out of this tunnel, is it wide enough for me to spread my wings and fuck off?
So how tall are you? You're 5 feet?
I'm 5'2".
5'2"? That would be too close. The wingspan of most mammals is twice their own length. One wing is usually the length of the animal. So, counting the center of your body, you'd probably need
like another like 1.5 feet each side to be able to fly
Yeah.
normal.
Basically. You need something like 12 feet of space, of continual space, to be able to fly off and glide.
Man,
The corridor of this became wider just as you were entering this. So the moment that you would go back to where the corridor just curves back down to its normal size, you'd be stuck walking.
all right.
So, audience and Remy, as you notice this huge mushroom at the back, that is really just a giant version of these violet fungus, you do notice that it also seems to have noticed you, as it's initiating movement toward your position. Initiating because it already had its action on this turn. And audience, you do feel like there's a huge part of the impression that you are getting that is coming off either from that or directly in that direction.
All right.
All right. So, Tykar just acted. This means it's Fisher's turn. Unfortunately, from your angle, Fisher, you are only aware of the 4 humanoid-sized mushroom slowly moving toward you.
Okay. I will use a bonus action to summon my great axe into my hand from my back, because drawing your weapon is for suckers.
Like opening doors. It's,
Yeah.
only peasants do
It's
that.
plebeian work.
Exactly. And then I will attack the one at C8.
Okay, try and finishing off. Let's go.
That's a 21 to hit.
That does hit.
For 10 damage.
All right. You strike it, and your axe almost cleave it all the way down. It sort of feels like you made it legs, but from the up to the down. It is hanging to its life by a thread, but it is still alive.
I will action surge,
Okay.
and I'm going to attack the other one with, because I forgot to do this the first time, my great axe, but using green flame blade.
Aha! Go ahead.
That's 24 to hit.
Does hit.
So this one takes 12 damage, and then the one I hit previously takes 3 fire damage.
So you strike this mushroom, and your axe cleave a little bit of the mushroom right in front of you, but you see this spurt of flame, of green flame coming out of the wound and striking the one right beside it, and it starts burning off, quivering, slowly turning into greenish ash and dissolving on the ground. You killed one of those mushrooms, the one at C8.
Dope.
All right. Anything else? Movement? Yelling?
This is your t-shirt.
Praying?
Yeah. No, that's it. How hurt does the one in front of me look?
There's a bit of damage, but it doesn't look that hurt. In D&D
Okay.
term, it's not injured yet.
Yep, that's my turn.
Okay. Then in that case, we go back up to the top of the turn of the round. So we go back to audience.
Audience is going to hit the mushroom in front of him
All right, go ahead.
with a 17 plus 7, so 23, 24. Yeah, I can do math. 24.
You can do math. Audience can't. You hit. Don't worry about it.
Alright, and then I will hit for 7 damage.
Okay.
And then I will also, as a bonus action, pop my breath weapon in a line. For Dex save, they have to be Dex DC 12. And I will pop for 2d6 lightning damage. So that's going to be 7 damage full, 4 half.
Okay, one rolled a 5, so 0, and the other one rolled a total of 6.
Okay, so yeah, neither of them succeed. So both take 7 lightning damage.
7. All right.
They too tough to jump.
Try to bend just enough for the lightning. No, it wasn't enough. All right, the one that's right in front of you really didn't like that all that much. The other one seems to just have been scorched slightly on the side, but they're still both up. Anything
All
else?
right.
Like to move? Like to yell?
I will move to not leaving it. I'm gonna move to what's it called? E6.
Okay.
So one further away from the big one, but not. And then I'm also going to yell, there's a much larger mushroom behind these 3. Looking back at Fisher, seeing that he killed one.
All right. Then we go down to the monsters. All right. So one mushroom is gonna go down. One mushroom is gonna go down. So the smallest mushrooms that were above audience have decided to flank audience on both sides, and the big one is also moving. And this one has a much greater reach, much greater movement than audience has, than the other mushroom have. So it moves inside the room, and now everyone can see it. While all the other ones were maybe 5 feet tall, varying between 4 and 5 feet tall, with 4 tendrils attached to their cap. This one is 10 feet tall and just about as large, and this one has 8 tendrils coming out of it.
Nice.
All right, so two of them are going to attack Fisher. The one that are flanking him right now. Oh, goodness.
Wait, so the one at E7?
The one at
attacking
E7
him?
and the one at D8 attack Fisher.
Oh, cool. I can use my reaction to hit the one at E7 then.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
For another 24 to hit. So it hits.
It hits.
And then... 12 damage.
12, wow.
take a swing at my boy, I take a swing at you.
Yeah, and that injury actually he didn't like. You see him move to your side and then reach out to your friend, and you almost decapitate it. It is severely injured, but still alive. However, the two that are attacking Fisher, they just go to town with you, because when a violet mushroom attacks, the multi-attack is 1d4 rotting touch. So there is a variable. And then there's two of them attacking you. So it's 2 1d4. So you have 6 attack going at you right now.
Ooh, fun.
And most of
You
them
become
are
their new whipping
shit.
boy.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure 8 doesn't cut it.
Nope.
13 doesn't cut it. 19?
19 is my armor class.
So one of them hits. Unnatural 20, so another one hits. The other one, 12 and 8. So 2 of them actually hits you. For a grand total of 12 necrotic damage.
Owie.
Alright, the one that...
They're rotting out your insides, Stray. All those vines.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
licking
dude.
your armor, and it's just boiling and rotting away whatever part of roots and biological component that makes up your making. It starts to smell also. Ugh. Alright, there's one small one that does attack audience for 2 attacks. A 15 and a 14. So both of them,
Audience double smacks them away.
both of them try and attack you and miss. And then there is the very large mushrooms who focus his entire attention on you, audience.
Yeah, that would make sense. I am the
That
one in front of
tracks.
them. Yeah, that tracks.
So you see this mass of tentacles just start reaching out for you, and almost all of them manage to go your way. You have 7 attacks coming your way.
That's a lot of attacks.
Alright, so the first 3, there's nothing I can do about that. It's not gonna even come close to hitting you. It's a 6, a 4, and a 14.
Audience is not impressed so far by these mushrooms.
Alright, we have 1 20 to hit.
Alright.
Two 20s to hit. Not natural 20s, just normal 20s.
Okay.
And the last one is a 16.
Alright, so 2 attacks will go through on me.
2 attacks. Well, they actually hurt a bit.
Their damage is halved.
Yeah.
So
So you would normally take 18 points of necrotic damage from all those attacks, reduced by half, so 9 points of necrotic damage.
oh no, he got 4 through to my actual health. So sad.
Yeah, that's right, you all got temporary hit points.
I totally forgot about that. Gotta
It's
give me back the. There we go. Okay, we're good.
Alright, that is the round of these monsters. And Tykar, there's really nothing to help you ease your fear with all of that has been happening. They're creatures from the earth itself. They all keep licking at everyone, making them rot. There's a huge one at the end that just went to town with audience. Unfortunately, you saw that his skin seemed to have a higher tolerance for necrotic damage right now. But that's probably all stuff that Tykar has nightmare of already. But fortunately, you still have a few seconds before it's your turn. So, Remy, it's your turn after the monsters.
Maybe just seeing all these mushrooms start whipping audience, or at least most of them trying to whip audience.
You did see a
Just
few
shouts like,
of rotting smoke.
Just shouts, "Get away from him, you bitch!" As he goes. Oh hi! Oh, that's so wasted. I was attacking the one at E5, and I did roll a nat 20, but it was
Oh.
probably gonna be dead anyway. But we'll find out, I guess.
And it is condition area name of blind and then
That's so wasted. $15, 20, 23, 24. 24 points of piercing damage as the good boy comes soaring.
yeah, you throw that weapon and you just see the cap of this mushroom leave its body, just going, and then both fall to the ground and not moving.
And just whistles the good boy back to his hand. So who wants a piece of me? He shouts as he ends his turn.
All right.
Are you taunting right now?
He's taunting mushroom, you know.
I guess.
Can't hurt. Don't know if it helps, but can't hurt. So, Remy, anything else? Moving? Screaming? You are taunting, so...
He already screamed / taunted, and no, he's not moving anywhere.
Okay.
He doesn't need to.
So, we go down to Daikar.
All right. I have a clear line on the monster on D8, right?
D8. Yeah, there is a slight chance that you might hit Fisher, but I'll say, because this is your primary weapon, as long as you don't roll a natural 1, you're confident you're not going to hit Fisher.
All right. I'm going to let off 2 rapid shots from my crossbow.
Okay.
Let's see if it survives first.
All right. 25, almost a nat 20, with 6 damage.
All right, that was enough to hit, and this is the one here. 6 damage.
Yep.
Okay, so the arrow just enters it, and it looks injured.
Second one's at 24, and that's another 6 piercing.
Okay. So you get 2 bolts that just enter this poor mushrooms, and the first one damages it to a point where it seems to be having trouble maintaining itself, but the second one nearly destroys his stock, and you see him just dangling like this for a moment, and well, you don't know if it's looking at you, but feels like it would be angrily looking at you if it could feel anger.
If mushrooms could stare.
The rest of I'm going to use my movement to... Is B1 available to stand on, or...
B1, yeah.
All right, I'll stand on B1.
Okay.
And that's my move.
Okay. In that case, we go to Fisher.
Well, I will... Which of these 2 in front of me looks more hurt?
The one at D8. It looks
D8,
barely
okay.
holding on.
Okay.
You might even be able to kill it in one swing. You think?
Mm-hmm. Right. I will pull back my great axe and use green flame blade to hit the one at D8,
Okay.
or at least attempt to. That is a 14 to hit.
It does hit.
That is 14 damage. And then 3 damage to the other one.
Okay. So, the one in front of you, you just chop it down all the way to the bottom of it. It falls on the ground without even having time to give a little quiver. And the second one receives a licking of green flame. But it is still up. Anything else?
No, that's gonna be my turn.
Okay. In that case, we go back to the top of the round with audience.
Audin's gonna hit the mushroom in front of him
Okay.
with a unnatural 20, and then 8 points of damage.
You cleave it almost all the way down. It is holding on by a thread, but it is holding on. It feels like it would be very scared if Mushroom could be scared.
Then I will move down to D6. So I'm in line with Fisher.
Okay, as you do this, the huge mushroom does take an attack of opportunity on you, as you are leaving his 10-foot reach.
Oh. I'll just stay where I am then.
Okay.
It's fine.
Anything else?
No, that is all I can do.
Okay. Then in that case, the small mushroom is going to keep attacking Fisher with an unimpressive 1 tendril attack.
And because of that, I get to reaction hit it. Oh, I actually think I missed though. Only a 10 to hit.
Violet mushrooms have an armor class of 5.
Oh, well, never mind. I still hit it.
You would literally need to roll a natural 1.
And I
That
hit,
would still technically hit, I think.
And I hit it with 8.
Then,
So
since this is a reaction moment, this means you prevent it from attacking as you just cleave it all the way down. The poor thing is just dead.
Should have attacked me and not Fisher. Couldn't have done it if it attacked me.
It's a mushroom.
Picked the wrong target.
It's a mushroom. It has an intelligence of 1. You can count. It can't. So, all right. The huge mushroom moves forward once and then unleash all of its attacks. And almost all of its attacks. 4 are going to be on audience and 4 are going to be on Fisher. 3 are going to be on Fisher.
All right, you ready for the barrage? The broadside, this thing is.
All right, so we go for the 4 on audience. Oh, come on. I don't know where you get that luck, but 3 of my rolls are under 10. Fortunately, 1 is a total of 19.
Alright, that does hit me. I'll take the 1 hit from it.
Come on. You really should spread the luck with everyone else because this is ridiculous. You take.
I don't know what you're talking about. Remy rolls great.
Yeah.
You take a total of 8 points of necrotic damage divided by 2 because of your temporary
Yep.
resistance.
So I take another 4.
All right. Fisher, you take 3 attack. See? That's so much better.
Of course it is.
We
Why is
have
the one
a
without necrotic resistance getting hit?
we have a 23 to hit, a
Shield.
20 shield. Okay, well that changes a lot. 23 to hit, 20 to hit, and 19 to hit.
They all miss.
So right at the last moment, you pop out your shield and you see all of these tendrils just go.
Got him.
I love our party's defensive capabilities. They're great.
That's I keep saying it. You tank like a group of level 6. The problem is that you hit like a group of level 4. All right.
Because we
Well.
don't have multi-attack yet.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to come up with a greater challenge next time. I'm gonna take that into consideration.
I feel like you say that after every fight we run.
I keep increasing the difficulty every time. I give you more monsters. I give you more hit points with monsters. But to be honest, you've only been using your shield spell for the last 2 fights.
Yeah, that is true.
All right. Well, this means that it is Raimi's turn.
Oh, good. The creature moved exactly where I wanted him to be. Thanks.
You're welcome.
It's like Raimi just reorients the Bloodhound / Good Boy. I should probably respect the name enough to say it at least once during the combat as he throws it. That's going to be a 17 to hit.
It does hit.
Dope. It's gonna be. That's going to be 12 piercing.
Okay.
And then whistles the good boy back to his hand.
Contrary to the other ones, you hit it, you see the dagger strike into it. When it leaves, for a moment you look at this and say, that doesn't look as important as it was with the others. This one is much more massive. I'm not saying this for resistance. I'm just saying, okay, this one is much sturdier. Sorry.
It's thick with 2 C's.
Yeah.
Good thing I have 3 divine smites left.
All right, Taikar, it is your turn. You've just witnessed this monster unleash a barrage of attack on the audience and Fisher.
All right. I'm gonna rack back another bolt and shoot at it with my hand crossbow.
Go ahead.
Well, it's a 10 for 10 piercing damage.
10 to hit.
Yep.
The bolt flies
Oh.
off and
Oh,
bounces.
that's right. It's not a small one. Damn.
It bounces off of him. You even hear it grind a little bit as it just... This one has an armor class.
Oh no.
Well, shit.
I have to roll something above a nat 1 to be able to hit the thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. God. Tough.
I'm just gonna lower my crossbow with a bit of an exasperated look on my face. Ugh. Hey, Smeg Lord, how about you do us a favor and just die already? And that's gonna be a vicious. No, that's right. I already use my action. Never mind. I just insulted him for the sake of insulting him, and I shot another bolt at him.
You forgot to put the magic in it. Oh, god damn it.
Yep. Instead, I'm just gonna shoot him again. So that's gonna
I mean,
be
in a way, you
24
are
to-
hurting it with your words.
It's immune to being deafened, so it doesn't have any ears.
All right, so
That's why you have to
24
make
to hit on my second shot.
How much? How many?
24 to hit
24 does hit.
for 10 piercing.
Okay. Alright, your bolt just flies in and hits it. You know, it hits it. You look at it as, wow, well, it's much bigger. It looks a bit small. But it hits.
I imagine I'm not lucky enough for that bolt to have stuck inside of him, right? Let me use my fucking spell slots.
With a 24 to hit, I'd allow it.
Ah,
All right, so it's stuck
Thank
within
you.
him. It looks really small, but it's stuck in.
oof. It's gonna find out that even the smallest prick can burn.
So we go to Fisher now.
Um, I am going to probably miss horribly, but I'm going to shoot. I don't have disadvantage unless I'm within 5 feet, right? Even if I'm in his range on a ranged attack.
For a ranged spell attack, yes, you're perfectly fine.
You're fine. It's if you are
Okay.
within 5 feet.
Yeah. Okay. Then I will pull out my diamond and launch a chromatic orb at him.
Audience feels
Make sure the diamond
nervous.
is
He feels like
oriented.
he's too close to
This
in the
always
range.
works so well.
You hear Terranad from inside of you. Oh no, here it goes again.
It's gonna work, guys.
Here, audience, aim forward. Make sure it's facing the right direction.
Remember, the pointy end goes that way.
15 to hit.
What was the orb that you fired?
Oh, fire.
Fire. You throw this little ball of fire. It goes toward him, and you see it hits the side, bounce off, and trail toward the wall behind it.
Oh, shit.
It did not meet his armor class.
Oh shit.
He's too thick.
Yo,
Too thick.
Tofu Boy, you got it tough.
Fisher just sits there kind of confused for a second because he didn't think fire could bounce like that.
Oh, you see a little bit of scorch mark, but it was a glancing blow. That's why it just did cosmetic damage.
And then he will just say, fuck it. Never trying that again. Never works. And then he'll
You hear Terranad
walk-
say, "Well, at least you hit this time. You just didn't do anything."
And I'm gonna walk over to G8 to be kind of over on the other side of him.
Okay. Okay.
Are we technically flanking him now?
Like I said, unless you have an ability that states that you can do this with only one partner, you need to be 3 for a flanking maneuver.
Right. All right, one of you guys need to sacrifice and get up here with
Taikar, come on! Go next to the mushroom!
Come on up, boys.
What? Sweats in 15 AC.
The earth is just claiming you. It wants to eat you. It's a mushroom, the fruit of the earth.
You just see me dig my talons into the rock somehow.
All right, so that was Fisher. Now we go back to the top. Audience.
All right, audience is gonna do this crazy thing where he swings his sword at the mushroom.
What?
That's a new concept.
For a nat 20.
Well, that definitely hits.
He's gonna pop a divine.
Good
Well,
lord.
that-
This is the best time to do it.
So we're gonna be hitting for a what's that? All right. Spells
There'll be 48 total for.
yeah, 48.
Right.
And I dropped my dice.
Unless it's undead.
No, it is not. It is a plant.
Oh.
Sad.
It just smells undead.
Uh-huh.
All
It
right.
smells like it could have
So
died.
for the normal damage I'll be doing, I'll just do that one first. I will be doing 10 normal damage, and then I will be doing. Oh no, wait, no, it's doubled. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I will
We'll
be
get-
doing. I'll be doing 20 normal damage.
Okay.
No, it's not plus 5. Sorry. I'll be doing 15. I can do math. I'll be doing 15 normal damage,
Well,
and then I will. Then I will be doing. Okay. Okay, this thing. Okay, oh no. Oh no. Okay, and then
Oh.
I rolled 3 8s in a row, so 24 times 2. So I will be doing 48 radiant damage to this mushroom plus the 15. So 48, 58, 60 something in total.
all right. Well, you stand in front of it. You take your sword and let out a large, righteous scream as you hit it as hard as you can. Your weapon flares up with energy. You cleave into it. You see it having a reaction. It quivers a bit. It recoils slightly as the divine energy burns inside of him a little bit. It is still up, but you have just managed to injure it in a single blow.
Yeah, that was I hope it wasn't weak to radiant, because then I didn't even.
All right.
man.
Anything else you'd like to do?
No, I think like the 60 something damage I did to it is enough for it for right now. I'd feel bad doing any more. So
I feel bad saving the group. All right. So it is his turn, and it attacks. Oh, come on. Just 5 attacks. All right. Since you've just heard it so much, it turns its full attention on you.
yeah, that tracks. That also tracks.
All right. So we have 11 and another 11.
Okay.
Ah, the other ones are going to hit. We have 19. We have 25 and 25.
Yep. Well, 3 of them hit.
It throws at you 5 tentacles, and 3 of them actually manage to hit you. 4. Okay. For 22 points of necrotic damage, divided in 2 because you actually have resistance to necrotic damage right now. So 11 points of necrotic damage.
Alright. Good thing I popped that potion. It's working out well for me.
Yeah, that it would be starting to sting a little if you hadn't. All right. That's it. That's all it does for this turn. Meaning it is now Remy's turn.
Yeah, so Raimi now seeing that this large creature is really starting to lay into audience. After seeing a beautiful display of brilliant light energy, like that part was pretty.
Of
But
might
the part that came after wasn't great. But now seeing that audience is getting repeatedly abused by more whips, like grips the good boy in his hand and literally dashes over to G5 and goes in for a stab on this thing.
Okay. Yeah!
Get away from him, you bitch! I can't get much better than that, but I will do the second roll. Okay, no, so that'll be 23 to hit.
Does hit.
That'll be 16 piercing.
Okay. Okay.
This poor mushroom.
Yeah, it's quite hurt. You're probably even starting to slice off pieces of it. Although I'm not sure you actually want to try and eat it.
It's audience. Don't tempt him.
It's not meat. Don't worry about it.
And it has a necrotic smell to it.
Yeah, maybe just ends his turn breathing heavily, staring daggers at this large creature that dare abuse his paragon.
All right. Audience, you have a obvious defender. All right, we go down to Tykar.
All right. I'm just gonna look straight at my bolt that made it into this little bastard's skin. Pull out a piece of iron, flick it up, just point right at the bolt, and cast heat metal.
Okay.
All right. How much? Ooh, yeah, you're gonna like that. 15 fire damage.
15? Okay. All right. You point at this small arrowhead that you see inside of his body and concentrate, and then there's a small scent of cooking mushrooms that starts spreading in the cavern.
And before I
Damn it,
just
no, you actually are going to attempt him to eat it.
Well,
Delicious.
poison damage right now. Shit.
All right.
And fuck it, why not? With my bonus, I'll give you guys another 5 temp HP, and if you want to move around, do it.
I'm happy where I am.
All right,
In
well,
its face. Killing
still
it.
5 temp HP
It is.
in case you get whipped at again.
Yeah, it might be good to update the map.
Oh, is there? Oh yes, it has an update. Sorry. All right. Anyone wants to move?
I'm good.
Raimi doesn't have to go anywhere. Also, he really should save his reaction, just in case.
All right. Well, in that
You know
case,
what? Tykar will move.
okay.
5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, he's gonna move right under Raimi. Actually joining the fight.
Damn.
Tykar joins the battle.
Feeling bold.
Box him in.
All right.
I feel
Well,
like he's about to die, and Tykar isn't in mortal danger anymore.
all right. So, It is Fisher's turn. And yes, you are flanking him now.
It's our firefighting groups around
sure?
a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's open to interpretation, but yes, I'm sure.
Okay. I will attempt to hit him with my great axe.
Go ahead.
Good. That is a dirty 20 to hit.
Okay, does hit.
That will be 9 damage.
Okay. The strike hits, but it's still standing. Injured, but still standing. Which means we go back to the top of the round with audience.
Audience will swing at it again, since last time was so successful. A 21 to hit.
Does hit.
And then he will divine smite it. So he will do 3 plus 5. So he'll do 8 physical damage. And then 12 more radiant damage.
All right.
So overall 20 damage. 12 of it radiant.
All right. You swing at it again. Your weapon flares up with energy and you strike it. It is severely injured. Pieces of it are starting to fall on the ground, but it is still up, holding on to life. Because of high passive perception, Remy, this is something that you pick up. I'm going to send it to you privately, because if we get to your turn before it dies, I want to see how you react to it.
Guys, it's a bomb. It's been a bomb this whole time. We're gonna kill us. Gonna explode.
There was no mushroom. It was a lit Molotov cocktail this whole time.
Tell me where the bomb is. We only have 24 hours.
Oh god. So many wasted nights watching that show. God.
Which one?
24.
Oh, okay.
It's okay, but then the countdown gets on your nerves.
All right. So with that, it is the turn of the mushroom. The mushroom, seeing that it doesn't have much of a choice, actually just being a mushroom and doesn't know that it has a choice, just keeps on attacking. And fortunately, you seem to have managed to cut off a lot of his arms, because it only managed to send 3 attacks. But it's gonna focus on audience, because audience has been injuring it so severely. Oh,
Fair enough.
come
DM
on,
just
man.
really wants to hurt audience.
I don't know why. He knows he has the worst luck against me.
That's the reason
You're also
why.
a big fucking threat, so thrashing is better than passively accepting your death.
Most ladybugs are smarter than this mushroom, so, you know. Alright, so for its first attack, a 15. For its second attack, a 9. But for its third attack, it is attacking with a 23.
All right. It gets to hit me one more time before it dies. Enjoy it.
Well, it is going to enjoy it a little bit because it's maximum damage it can cause with an attack. 12 hit points of damage, reduced in 2
Alright.
because of the...
I will take 6.
meaning, because of the temporary hit points, you take 1 point of damage.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. I don't take 6.
You guys really shouldn't be forgetting about your temp HP.
Guys, they're 1 bardic inspiration each. Please don't forget it.
It got me exactly to where I have to use my
Sorry,
full
it's
lay on
just
hands
it's
to
so
go back
rare
to
that we have
full.
to edit our HP that we keep
God.
forgetting about.
I can exactly use my lay on hands to go exactly back to full HP now. Because I'm 22.
Alright, so... the mushroom has attacked, which means it's Remy's turn. Remy, you perceive what I have just sent you, and it is a very abundant thing.
Or when you say an abundant thing.
You perceive there is most likely several of that.
Not concerning.
Not concerning at all.
Yeah, okay.
What color is my orb?
Trying to. All right, he definitely can't definitely can't leave this creature as is. So he is going to make his stab.
Okay.
Okay, definitely not with that roll. Let's try another one. That's significantly better at 23 to hit.
Does hit.
For 13 piercing.
Okay. It is holding on, but it is almost falling apart.
You know, Ramy's just going to pull out his other dagger, bonus action for a strike. Hoping that's going to be enough. For an 18 to hit.
18 does hit.
For 4 piercing.
Its stock is starting to collapse. It is losing height, but it is still alive.
Dang it.
Flailing desperately, clinging onto life.
Okay, so Remy is going to move to H7. And
Oh dear
he's
lord.
going to shout out.
Go ahead.
He's going to shout out. Careful, boys! And as he ends his turn, because there's something he wants to do on his next turn, but his battle's still happening.
Remy, you have stepped to H7, which means you can see right at the edge of the curve that is technically at I7. There is another one just like the one you're attacking that is creeping toward your group.
Oh, we're not done.
Yeah, his message still stands. Be careful, boys.
Boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Guess I'm using my spell slots on Cure Wounds, huh? All right. So, is your turn?
Is that it, Remy? Nothing else?
Those are all my actions I can
Okay.
take.
Tykar, it is your turn.
All right. Just gonna lean back, try to put a bolt through the mushroom cap, and
At close range, you're
Yeah.
going to be at disadvantage.
no, I'm not with crossbow expert.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
Ah, fuck. Well, 19 to hit,
It's enough to hit.
5 piercing damage,
Okay.
minimum damage possible. And with my bonus action, I'm going to rekindle heat metal for another 2d8 fire damage.
Okay.
Well, shit, that's gonna be another 15 fire damage.
I think it's dead.
Yeah. If you rolled minimum damage, it would have killed it. So,
Well, now it's engulfed in flames.
yeah, so you have this bolt inside of it. You rekindle your spell, and suddenly you see it start burning from the inside. This pleasant smell of cooking mushrooms spreading inside the cave, filling the space. You can't help but think, all we need is butter. There's this mass of mushroom, sliced, diced, smited, and burnt, falls to the ground. Which means we'd fall to Fisher's turn. Unless, Tykar, you want to move? You
No,
just...
I'm just gonna twirl my hand crossbow and holster it in my chest holster.
Yeah. Fisher, it would be your turn.
Okay. So this thing just died, right?
Fell to the ground. Currently, it's cooking because of a bolt still stuck inside of him, burning him. It's not moving anymore. All of the tendrils have fallen flat. There might be a little bit of recoiling because it's burning from the inside, but it looks thoroughly dead.
Okay. I am going to step up to H8 and look around.
Make a perception roll.
Ooh. 18, 20 with Taranad.
Okay. This time you both hear something. You turn around and you start looking, and the first thing that comes to you is this looming shadow that seems to be moving from the corner. It looks exactly like the thing that's dead right behind you. But your ears are also perceiving shuffling, a lot of it. Judging from the way that this one moved, there is easily 10 or 20 of them within the corridor that just keeps going from H8, 9, and 10 going up.
How far away is the closest one?
Around 25 feet. It is just moving outside of this little bend that is just outside of the reach of the map. This one should be there, should be arriving right at your feet within a round and a half.
Okay. Hey guys, we got more, a lot more. We should probably dip. And then I'll start backing. Can I cast light on a rock and just kind of roll it down a little bit
Yeah.
farther?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll start backing up a little bit to like E7.
Okay.
Actually, which direction does that tunnel go?
Which one?
Like, does it curve off like sideways, or does it go like straight up the map, or does it go diagonal?
Actually, on, like I said, on I7, it would start going back toward 1. This is how it curves.
Oh, okay. So it curves back around the other. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll back up to E8.
Okay. Okay. In that case, we go back to the top of the initiative. As you hear this shuffling getting closer and closer, and also Remy, you hear that shuffling growing closer and closer, and you both look at all of the party members, and even audience has sustained injuries. You've seen it use his divine smite already twice. You know that he's not going to be able to use it a lot more. Your own resources have depleted slightly, and you feel like there's at least a dozen of them creeping up from behind that wall. And you get the feeling that, oh, this is what audience was talking about. This radiating something, and the guide said that it just appeared, and from what you know, there's most likely a shard, a sliver of shard, stuck deep within this tunnel, and it's mutating all of these violet mushroom, all of these violet fungus, becoming these huge creatures. So you still have your quests. There are a few mushrooms in the room. That is your quest, but that mushroom is gonna be there within the next 15 seconds. The first one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hearing, have Tykar turn invisible, go destroy the shard. Were other people not hearing that? Because that's what I was
As
hearing.
long as they don't have blind sight. Otherwise, he's dead.
Tykar, how do you feel about this plan?
I feel like I want to be out of here as soon as possible. So if that means breaking the shard, I don't mind doing it. But I'm not dying in this fucking cave.
Yeah, we don't really have an escape plan for him.
You said there are some of the mushrooms we came here for around here?
Yes. At
Okay.
H5, and basically where you all stepped in at A2, 3, 4, and 5, there are mushroom and moss there.
So we can grab probably like a couple boxes on our way out. These things move super slow.
The small ones did. These ones are a little faster. But, yeah.
But they're not fast. We can outrun them.
Mm-hmm. Are we still in initiative?
I don't know. It would be my turn if we are. Or, I think.
Since there is a few round, there's a few round before things happen. I can put you out of initiative. sort of a 15-20 second if you all back away. So
All right.
So, yeah, back up and start collecting as much stuff as we can.
Okay. I'm okay. I'm okay with this plan for now. I don't want to go fight. I recognize that probably like 12 more of these would be a little bit much.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Like
If we
our
do
kind of
want to
has
deal
show-
with this, we have to come back with a better.
Well, I think we can update the quest. I think we can report to the garden about what happened. We can
Definitely.
update it. We'd just be like, hey, there's a shard stuck in there with like a ton of mushrooms.
Yeah.
so you
Hey, who knows? You know, I mean, Ami Ollie's nearby. She could come help. Wait. Sorry, I'm distracted.
maybe she could. No. All right, so you back away from the end of the cave, and you go back toward the entrance where there were a few more mushrooms, and you start picking the mushrooms rapidly as you see this large looming mushroom at the bottom of the other end of this room advancing
I'm gonna
slowly.
open, by the way, my dimensional space and be
Okay.
like, toss the boxes in there quick, so we can just, so we're not carrying boxes while we're
Toss
running
them up.
away.
Let's go, man. Mushroom, moss, rock full of moss. Come on, let's go.
Toss them in the portal.
I don't toss, but I quickly but gently place.
All right. Okay. Well, as these guys are doing that,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pat audience on the shoulder and say, listen, as much as I want to leave, I don't want to come back to finish another job. And I'll pull out a piece of gum Arabic and just wipe it.
Oh no.
I'll just wipe it across my neck and wave as I
So
start to
Taikar
dissipate.
is so scared that he just lost his accent.
I'm like, oh, okay. I believe in you. There's really nothing we can do to help you.
Nope.
So Taikar, you turn invisible and try to make your way downward in the tunnel that you came from.
I'm gonna try to make it to the tunnel where apparently there was this mystical thing causing these assholes to rise.
I
from
will
the-
tell Tykar, by the way, before he leaves, as he's disappeared, I'll be like, remember, we are underground, so I don't know if it'll work, but remember, your portal is a teleport. Your orb is a teleport. If you need to use it, at least go for it.
Oh, that's right. That
I mean,
does work.
You could check
All
the
right.
orb first.
So
I mean, I assume it's yellow. We're underground, but it's probably not red.
it is
I
yellow
remember-
right now.
Yeah, okay.
So are you trying to go through all of these mushrooms or back toward the exit, Taikar?
I'm gonna try to stealth my way through them if it's possible.
Okay. So you advance slowly toward it. Make a. Well, you're invisible, but you still need to make a stealth check, but it's with advantage because you're
Alright.
invisible.
All right, first one's a 12. Second one's a 22.
All right. Okay.
I believe in the dice.
You slowly creep up toward this mushroom that's coming in inside the room as you see Audience and Fisher. Well, Audience frantically picking up every rock and mushroom he can and throwing it inside the dimensional storage. Fisher being more gentle, like the people at the garden said, picking the mushrooms and putting them in. Taikar, as you're about to reach the first one, you know that you're gonna be in range. Doesn't seem to be reacting. But at this moment, you hear a voice coming from what would have been E and D9. you hear a voice coming from there, and it is a flat, emotionless voice that is not trying to be hidden. So, audience and Fisher, you recognize it. And you hear Krill, wall, and you see this blue light that just appear in front of you, blocking the exit. And then someone steps out of this place near the wall. Audience and Fisher, you recognize this as being Civ. Civ turns toward Tykar, and even though you're invisible, and this is not something you're used to, he seems to be talking straight to you, as if he could see you. As brave as this is, you will only die. Mushrooms don't have eyes. And I would suggest, if you have another way of leaving this, that you use it. The path from which you came has also been overrun. Remy, when he says that, this is when your passive perception picks up on the fact that the other end of this is also shuffling. They have found a way to box you in.
So they're also coming from the tunnel from at A8, 9.
Yes.
Okay. Noise.
Maybe there's
Did
an
you say
underwater
that's where
passage.
Civ came from?
No, Civ came from this small outcrop, which two of the mushrooms were
okay.
hidden in. He turns toward this direction and says, "This direction has also been overrun. It's much tighter. They can only travel one at a time. But they will be here soon. I can buy you some time if you need it." And he turns toward the blue light that covers the entire wall. He said, "But this is only a physical wall. They will eventually run it through."
Sure.
What is... Does that water keep going?
I haven't tested it. I don't know where it goes. But judging from the speed at which it runs, the passage from which it come from is most likely not very large. But you can try it.
I cast light on a rock and huck it into the water.
You turn around, cast light, throw it inside the water. At this moment, you can hear the mushrooms that are coming from the end where Tykar was going are just starting to hit the wall that Krill has just made. And you do hear it sounds like someone striking at a crystal over and over again, hammering it. And you see all 8 tendrils each time. It's just go. You let the rock fall in the water. It does seem to go quite deep. But again, there is not much current in it.
Mm-hmm.
From where you are, you could see a passage. But the main problem is that you could get out. You don't know how far it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't have a lot of other options.
The orb is yellow, right?
Yeah, the orb is yellow.
It means it's not a guarantee. It's
Not
a
a
percentage.
guarantee that it will take us anywhere, or not a guarantee that it will not cause problems when we use
They
it.
can't guarantee where you will reappear when it's
Okay.
yellow. You could reappear just outside the cave. You could reappear at the garden. You could reappear at 10,000 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
that'd be fine for Tykar.
I don't mind those odds. Wait, 10,000 feet.
It's going to be hard to
Yeah.
breathe.
Yeah. I might have to dive a bit.
Fisher would be okay too.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Fell.
Until
Until he
drown.
reaches the ground. You have a few minutes, you know.
I don't have Featherfall. Never mind, I'd be fine.
As long as you're
How many
falling in
people
water.
can you cast Featherfall on?
It's a lot. It's like up to
You can target up to 6 creatures.
yeah.
All right, so
Up to 5.
You got our whole party covered. We're fine.
Yeah. Shit. So the water, is it?
It's deep enough for someone to get in, and you can see that it keeps on going. The only problem is that you don't know how far it goes.
Okay, so I don't know if it's like an underground, like just like a pool, or if it's like an actual like stream that might lead with somewhere.
Well, it's clear water, so it is running, but it's not running fast, and you don't know how far it's running. That's the two problems that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that living people usually can't hold their breath at best longer than 5 minutes. At best.
Well, again, if we're saying this out loud, we don't have a lot of options, and our orbs are yellow now. So I mean, we either just try and orb out now, or we try the stream, and it either works, or then we have to orb out as we're running out of air. So we might as well try the stream.
Yeah. I'm good for stream. You guys cool with water?
I'm okay with water.
Tykar,
For a
you're
bit.
gonna go underwater, underground.
So how far down this tunnel will I have to go to find the shardis?
He just told you they have blind sight, bro. You're not making it.
I mean, how many attacks of opportunity would I have to go through?
About probably, let's see, there are 12 of them, and they each have 8 attacks, and they'd all be directed at you. Let's say they all roll a minimum of like 4 on average. So, 4 times 12 is, 48. So probably
Attacks.
around 48
Even
attacks.
even if you're fast enough and you only get 1 attack of opportunity from each, you still have to dodge 12 attacks. All doing necrotic
that?
damage.
Stellar 15
HP.
AC.
Yeah.
HP. Okay, so I think I may have misunderstood. The water, to go anywhere in it, we would have to go underwater.
Yeah.
It's not like a stream that we could just stay above the water and just swim.
No, you really get the feeling that it pooled there because it was... the structure was a bit more like a cave, but there's no room, or practically no room, to where it leaves this place. And the flow is very gentle, meaning that either where it's coming from or where it's going, one of them is very, very narrow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Shit.
eventually, I mean, it's still right the best option, because it's still like we should try it, even if it doesn't work. Like, we're either portaling out now or portaling out then.
Uh-huh. The only problem is if the orb turns red, you're screwed.
Well, you can go back up. We know
Yeah,
it's yellow
I guess.
here.
How much time do we have left?
The wall is
Things are
starting
close
to
to it,
crack. Krill
Oh,
is
I mean,
not
we
going to
can
be
still
able to
come
keep
back.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
we can still come back, because they're not going to be
I'm-
like guarding the pool.
I'm gonna run and dive into the water, and as I'm doing that, I'll say, Raimi, message me in like 10 seconds. And I'm gonna go.
Maybe just blinks as he knows that Fisher is about to do something that is probably stupid, but
Audience,
I'm
if there's
just gonna
nothing
go.
else to be doing, I'm
go
going to keep
underwater
gathering
and
mushrooms.
see.
He's going to be throwing moss and mushroom inside the room for as long as
Listen,
he
if
How do
we're
I
can.
waiting anyway, we might as well
Just
get
to
as
get
much
the
I'm gonna-
as
Try and follow the direction of the flow of the
Jesus.
water, and just go as far as I can.
So, Tykar, for you, you've never met Civ before, and Ramin either. Um, he is the size of a humanoid, but he is clearly also a construct. His head has the shape of a helmet's knight, a bit of a wedged shaped front face, and it's only one visor, not two separate eyes. When he said Krill wall, you saw this ball of light just rush from him and make a full wall, blocking off the back end of the cave. But it's a crystalline structure, so you are starting to see it crack in some place. Tykar, you are used to seeing people before combat. You're used to seeing people who are con artists as much as you are used to seeing actual fighters. Civ has the demeanor and tone of an extremely experienced fighter.
All right. Well,
And he has just told you that you're signing your own death if you want to go down the tunnel he just blocked.
fine, but I'm not going deeper underground. And I'm gonna whip out the orb.
Okay, so Fisher goes in the water.
Tykar's out.
Tykar is gonna take the orb no matter what.
I'll tell Tykar. I'll turn to Tykar and be like, "Hey, if you're gonna take the orb, at least until they get here, can you help me gather some more mushrooms?"
Amazing.
This guy. All right. Sure, I'll just grab like a couple of them.
All right, so Fisher,
Never get the moss.
don't forget the boss. Fisher,
I got the boss. Don't worry about it.
make an athletic roll for me, please.
Athletics?
Yeah. You're submerging yourself and you're swimming as fast as you can to see if this tunnel can lead anywhere.
That is dirty 20.
All right. Yeah, you do manage to go forward and go forward for 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 10 seconds. You're basically 2 rounds away, and the only source of light is the little light that you've taken with you. The tunnel does seem to be keep on going forward, at least whichever one you took. Did you take? All right. So when you went inside, there is one opening that goes north on the map, and one opening that goes southwest on the map. Which one did you take?
I tried to take whatever one I thought the flow was going towards.
That's what I thought you would make. This is why I. So after 2 rounds, you keep on going. There is still no opening anywhere. No one would be able to simply go up and breed. But the size of this tunnel isn't going smaller than 8 feet wide. So it's still doable as long as you all do it single file.
Mm-hmm.
So after 10 or 12 seconds, Remy, most likely you've been counting.
Are you okay, Remy?
That's what you hear inside your head.
I'll say there's still nowhere for air yet, but the tunnel's not getting any smaller. I'm gonna keep going.
Remy, you know that Fisher is soon going to go out of the message range.
Don't go too far, Remy.
Or yeah, I'll say, are y'all coming with me, or are you?
Yeah, you can say.
As I keep swimming.
Raimi's going to look towards the others and
I mean, I'm game. You know, I'm down to try it. I mean, again, I don't think our situation can get much worse. So,
Oh, I pull out my orb.
Yeah.
Is it still yellow?
Right now, it is still yellow.
Okay.
then yeah, there's literally no difference to not try.
Instead of being 10,000 feet in the air, we'll be just 100 feet underwater in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it's not great, but we don't have really any other options because we can't fight our way out of doing these things. So
Best out of a hostile merfolk holy temple.
So Taika, are you just trying the orb? Are you just going for it?
I'm not even gonna bother swimming. I'm like, nah. More time.
Fair enough,
Alright.
dude.
Beam me up, Zero.
Well, I hope you make it. We're gonna go for a swim.
So
I just end up like 10 feet in front of you underwater, like, goddamn it.
so
Wait, I will ask him. I am
Yep.
gonna yell to Civ, how are you gonna get out before this thing breaks?
I can easily come out any way that I came. They are not agile enough to be a problem for me. I will close the way behind you. I will use Krill as long as I can to give you a head start, just in case this mutation has allowed them to move underwater.
Thank you.
If you survive, we can always meet back at Otanel. I have been staying there for a while. I've been doing research.
All right. Well, hopefully I'll see you back there. I also like how you No, don't actually. So like the casual flex. Like, oh, I can get out because I can dodge all of them. You can, but
He can do that, but he won't get the shard and fucking save the place. Awesome.
There's a difference between trying to loot treasure while you're fighting and escaping. Basically, one is you're always using the dodge action, which significantly reduce the chance of an enemy
Very
hitting
effective,
you.
as we learned last fight against the cat.
I don't see how purging the area of like life-threatening corruption as looting treasure, but okay.
Yeah, that's
He has to find
same idea.
a sliver of something, retrieve it, destroy it, and then come back out.
it's fine. They're probably like 3 or 4 20th level guys. So down in Othel, you can go pick up and come back and clean up, this mess while we
All right, so
either find our dead bodies or not.
I'll grab like 8 scrolls with blight on it and come back.
all right, so Taikar, you audience, seeing as the wall is about to break, you close the entrance to your dimensional storage space. You take the shard with you. Remy and audience, you go to the pool and jump in.
Yep, going for a swim.
All right. You
I'll tell Remy to cast. Oh no! Wait, I'll ask actually Tykar before he leaves if he could cast Dancing Lights on. Although it won't go out of range, so actually it doesn't matter.
Maybe did everyone just forget about Raimi's lantern?
I will turn to the two. But I don't know if it works underwater. Whatever.
It's a
I don't
magic
Raimi
care.
dips his
It's
lantern
not
under the water.
Okay, I'll be like, fine, we have light. All right, I'll be like, Remy, you swim first. You swim first, since you have the light. I'll follow you, so we don't get.
all right. So, audience and Remy, you jump in the water. As you look up, you see this wall of blue crystal form above you, and you're forced down this watery path. Taikar, you take the orb, you make the sigil, and give a little prayer. Release it, and you are whisked away. Actually, I'm gonna let you roll a percentage.
Not in combat anymore. I'm gonna die.
Then he rolls, and he magically appears in front of Fisher underwater.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
You're actually-
Listen, I'm just doing this for transparency. I don't mind rolling it if you really don't want to be responsible for your death.
I'll use my new,
Let it.
oh my fucking lord, 6.
On a
Percentage dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
Well, hopefully it was your high was bad and low was good.
Yeah, it's like divine intervention. You
Yeah,
gotta
it's
roll
like
up.
golf. It's like
It's like golf, boys.
Okay.
I might need divine intervention for what's about to happen to me.
No, but
Because
since we're so far out of the time of the stream, this is a perfect moment to end the episode with Tykar disappearing and everyone being underwater and trying it to make its way out.
We love a 6. A 6 is definitely gonna get you through this.
Oh, I remember. Don't worry.
6 on percentile. Fuck me.
I don't even think I have a percentile dice right here. Do I even have it? Is this a percentile? Okay, I do have a percentile. Okay, I think this is one. Yeah.
All right, so this is where we finish this episode. It's a good place, you know. Everyone in danger. Gives us a better chance of having an audience next episode.
Might be our last
we might
episode.
not have an audience next episode.
Yeah.
Noise.
Guys, don't worry. We got the mushrooms. We completed the quest. Okay,
And that
that's what was
waterlocked.
that was what was important. No interdimensional space.
Interdimensional
right.
space. It's completely dry in there. All right.
Well.
So, thank you all for watching the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will be with us next time. As with all of our group, I hope you will all be there next time. Because that would be awkward if one of you was missing and he actually needs to do something. So, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being there. And I forgot to say something at the beginning, but I'm pretty sure Chaotic Calling has rated us during today's stream. So thank you again for rating us. It's always a pleasure to have you. And we hope to see you all next Wednesday. We know it's going to be just one day before the last day of the year. But hey, ending the year with Dungeons & Dragons is nice. So, see you all back next Wednesday. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, you can support the stream by following us on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. We're almost at our 50 followers on Twitch, meaning that we could activate subscriptions. So if you enjoyed and you're not a follower, please do. If you know someone who enjoys and they're not a follower, please twist their arm gently. You know, don't break it, just twist it. And of course, you can always help us by making a donation, becoming a Patreon, or simply by spreading the word, because the more of you there are, the more fun it will be in the chat and talking about what happened and what mistakes we might have done, what mistakes pressure might have forced upon us during the episode, or just in general being part of a larger community. So, thank you all. Be safe, and especially in these last few months of extreme danger because of this virus. Please stay healthy. Bye. See you next week.
Good night.
Bye.